everyone in their mind has inner dialogue.
Okay. Self-talk.
The same little mind, the same little voice that you hear that tells you, hey, you know what, it's time to brush your teeth, or it's time to eat, or hey, you know what, that person's looking at you funny, or hey, you know what, something doesn't feel right, or hey, you know what, your clothes don't look right now, go change them, and you follow that voice. The practice of meditation is to silence your inner dialogue.
Follow me along. Alright, podcast and stuff. We just started.
Yo. Hey, Boosh in the building.
Back for the second time.
Wow.
Even if it's the first.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, who am I here with today?
Myself, Rich YR.
And I'm Demuhn Dru.
Yeah.
Producer Demuhn Dru right here, man. RTD Studio's finest. You know what I'm saying? Some of the finest producers, musicians in the, Northern Hemisphere? Southern Hemisphere?
It gets bigger. Every time I ask you, it just gets bigger.
In the universe.
Yeah. What
Since Prince.
But who is Rich YR? Who is Demuhn Dru?
You wanna go first?
You go first.
I'll go first.
He's like, he didn't even know he was doing this till like 30 minutes ago. So he's just
roped him in. You doing this, bro. I'm an artist, bro. Rich YR, therealrichyr.com. I pretty much do anything and everything that is art related. I encourage anything and everything that is art related. I want to push to see better, man. I know I can't do this by myself, so I do try my best to involve as many people as I can. I'm a synergizer. I love getting more and more energies involved, so that there's just a greater outcome.
Damn, that was a mega professional answer. I was like, ready for it. It's like, all right, let me put on the face and shit. Start talking about synergy and shit, like words I gotta Google and shit later on. You know, I'm like all right, who you be?
As for me, I make beats.
It's Drew.
See?
Pretty much just.
You haven't run him through the media channel yet, because you can't be saying I just make beats.
No bullshit.
After he said that, you gotta come up with some.
No
Desari, you gotta go through the Desari.
That is pretty much exactly what he do.
That's pretty much.
No, I'm saying, but I'm just saying, never go second. If he's gonna start talking like that, let's start talking about synergy and shit. That's your answer. I make beats. You need to start describing like, yo, man, I take blank canvases and I fucking start painting like the universe of like humanity and society and what happens when those two things combine to formulate a message, usually 3 to 4 minutes long, depending on who I'm painting for. And it may involve things called choruses, or as the common folk like to say, hooks. You know?
We gonna write this down. Hold on. We're gonna be your next introduction for the next one.
Also known as I make beats.
AKA I produce.
Let me ask you, because I feel like you're gonna have a difficult time with all these answers. How did you get started making beats? Why you make beats? Why you make music?
Kind of got roped in it. I want to say during high school.
Is that the story? Got roped into the podcast. I got roped into it.
Nah, way back in high school.
Yeah.
It's pretty much we have a very close friend of mine. He goes by the name of DJ
Risky.
And that's how I, got really comfortable with the whole recording and using Pro Tools and all that. He's the one who showed me, initially how to press record, you know what I mean? And then from there, he came about and he started coming around more. And I started learning more about the music and I guess the beat part of it. And I saw what he was doing and I was like, well, shit, why can't I do that?
Right.
Well, what's your DAW of choice? You say where you make your beats on? Because I know you said Pro Tools, but do you make the beats in Pro Tools or you use something else?
We don't make the beats in Pro Tools.
What you
actually use the machine you see right there.
But like, do you only use Machine, or some people use Machine and Ableton, or Machine and this or that?
I've only used the Machine.
Oh, okay. You want. That's good, man.
Way back when we did mess with like Reason 4.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We started with like Reason. We started a cracked version of FL Studio.
Yeah, FL Studio.
Shout out to the early internet.
That's where I
crackers.
made my first couple of beats on FL Studio.
That's almost every hip hopper's story. Is that FL Studio gave birth to
FL Studio on a Dell desktop.
my first DAWs, they call them FL 2.5 or 3.5, one of those. It was like around 2002 or something, around that time period. Yeah, that was the first. I still have it, but it won't run now on like Windows 10. I have it in a folder saved though, just because it has some old shit. Like I know nothing about, because I started in music mad late. I started music in my 20s, so I don't start actually making it. But I was the guy who could get things, so I got that shit for the people around the neighborhood, and he would make it at my house because he didn't have a computer yet. Yeah. But so some of his old beats are on there too that I kind of wish I could fuck with now, but they don't fucking open. Because Windows 10 is so stupid.
You gotta get one of them old outdated.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no. But at some point, I'm fucking eBay. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Get that floppy going, man.
Floppy disk saved me when I was a kid, dude. Like I remember being in Maryland, visiting my sister, man. Fucking 2 games, Doom and Duke Nukem, dude.
Duke Nukem.
And shit was like on like 10.
Duke Nukem.
I think Doom was on like 10. Floppy disk, and Duke Nukem was like on 19.
Damn.
You have to install it one by one.
That's taking it back.
I got a fuzzy memory of that.
Yeah. Games was my life. That was like probably my first love.
MDK? Did you ever see MDK?
The game?
Yeah.
That was that. There was a Genesis game called that. So
Murder Death Kill?
Nah, it was some.
It was bad, dude. That
first
was
party shit or something.
Yeah.
Nah, see, like, cause so computers, right? Because they require like graphics and shit. Like we don't. I never started taking those games seriously till probably around like Unreal Tournament, like the first one.
The first Unreal. Yeah.
Because I got that shit on PlayStation 2, and that shit was hard. And then my friend loved it so much that he got it for a computer, and he was like, "Yo, you don't even know what the fuck you missing out. Like there's like a whole game on the computer." And it's like this much on the PlayStation 2. And I was like, the fuck you talking about? Now I played that shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? It was like some Aladdin shit. It was like a whole new world or some shit. And yo, yeah. So like, I didn't understand like games were like different. And it's still like that today. Like you go play the same game on a computer, but you go play the same game on a console. Unless there's some basic, because I come from fighting games. Like that's pretty much my number one shit. Unless it's something like that where it can't be different. The only thing that's going to be different is graphics. But like any of those open world, like mass fucking games, like they're like behemoths on the fucking computer. Yeah. And then they're like pieces of shit on like on the console. It's like trash, dude.
Yeah, not until like San Andreas when you had like the dual, on that disc it had like 2 layers of coding.
Oh, the dual layer shit. What system that starts on?
That was PS2.
Was it?
Yeah.
But it had dual layer, but that was single sided. Because I got the Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon.
No.
25th anniversary. That's dual layer, but you gotta flip it like it's a tape.
Oh yeah.
But even though it's a DVD, you gotta flip it like
I remember those. Yeah.
So,
that's man.
But yeah, man, it's just what podcast is, man. You just start wandering into all types of shit and just talking about.
All right, I feel it. I feel it now.
I feel it.
So you just talk fun shit. Well, how'd you get in this shit? How you get in this music game?
Musically, man, I gotta blame my pops. For real,
he got tricked, and you blame your pops. Does anybody here like music?
I mean, they just threw me in the mix, man. My pops was a DJ back in the 80s to this day. He started like
expect that.
84 or something like that, and he's been. I helped him tear down a set last Saturday. You know what I mean? Like he's
still out there,
still out there. And he had this 3-man show, 3 grown men, and they were doing karaoke before karaoke was called karaoke. They would get on stage. They had like the instrumental track, and he'd do, just they had 2 of his guys would sing. Man, they were old musicians that toured and did a bunch of stuff, and they'd already come off the road. They were kind of, on the other end of their careers, to where it's just like, man, they were free to do this kind of stuff. And every weekend, man, from the age of 3, I think, I was with them for setups and teardowns. I'd be on stage. He got me a tuxedo because I would dance and I would just like move around. And then I just became comfortable on stage, man. Every weekend we were doing, a wedding or a debut or an anniversary, this hall, that hall, and especially back in the day, people had a little bit more money than they got now. So it was growing up, I was in almost every major venue in the city that was around. So going into like age 12, 13, 14, 15, really 2001, so I was about 11. Yeah, 11 years old because I was born in 1990. So 2001, I started taking a class for piano and guitar. And that's where we got blessed with this one cat, man, Mr. Kreth. And this dude would be like,
Did you have him too?
Yeah. We went to school together. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so he'd be cutting through, kids. I don't know what drug he was on, but excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me.
He was always on it.
He was bad, dude. That boy could shred, but he couldn't teach. And what he would do is he'd give you a piece of music, lock you in a practice room, and just be like, figure it out. So you literally had a bunch of kids isolated, at the age of 11 with a piano in front of them in most cases, or a guitar in front of them, and just figuring it out. I mean, little did we know.
We had hour classes, right? So we were there for an hour.
Yeah, little did we know that kind of like separated the men from the boys. They're just like, people who want to do it and the people who are just, they're just there, for the class.
Just to sit there.
Yeah. So we ended up finding, some of the cats that like really fell in love with it and really wanted to pursue it. And you had like your metalheads, you had like, piano player, my homie JD. We basically, he and I met in a practice room, bro. We've been doing music really ever since. Drew as well. He's messing with arts. The school we went to was a fine arts academy. We didn't have sports. We didn't have a basketball team. We didn't have a football team. We had theater, animation, communication, so like radio, TV, like television production. We had a whole room for that. We had art, we had digital art, we had dance, ballet folklorico, or we had like, as the years grew, programs grew,
Everything
they had choir, orchestra,
everything
mariachi.
but sports.
So we ended up with a plethora of just different arts that you could learn. We soaked all this stuff up. So that's why, like, at this age, I have a luxury of being like, man, I know about production. I know about TV production, what goes into it. There's not a scary movie that scares me nowadays because I'm like, oh, man, that's great acting, or that's great, production, or look at the lighting and look at the, the camera angle on that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't get caught off guard because I found out what it took to make all that happen. Thanks to that school, which was about 80 kids, bro. Like, we all applied to get in there. The herd kind of dwindled, and when we graduated, I remember like 60
Did you have
kids
to write
in
an
there.
essay to get in there?
Yeah, we all had to like
I had to write one.
apply, write an essay, tell them why you were getting in there. The most messed up part about that school was, I think our junior or senior year, we had two other schools, Kennedy and Memorial, and because of standardized testing, our school was at like a 98, 99% passer rating. So we were like top billing in the state. We were going to be like recognized, all that other good stuff. Well, they had Kennedy Memorial getting threatened to get shut down because they were below even a 70 as far as their whole lot. And they had plenty more students than our school did. So you have a small incubation of your best of the best, passing everything and, that you throw at them. And then you have these other schools that are struggling to stay alive. Well, to keep these schools open, they took our roster and divvied them up.
Oh, wow.
So half our roster, were you Kennedy Memorial?
Was it Memorial?
They used the draft system.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
My diploma says John F. Kennedy. What's your say?
Memorial.
It says Memorial. We never even ate lunch there. You know what I mean? Or the valedictorian at Kennedy, when I graduated, the whole top 10 was in red except for one girl was in a green gown because that was their colors. The valedictorian never even went to Kennedy, bro. She's talking to 500-600 kids. Nobody knows who she is. Only we do. You know what I mean? We went to school with her. Like, what? The salutatorian had just took like her junior year. She moved from Edgewood to Kennedy, so she wore green. But it's like, yo, you're from us. Like you're one of us. So
to be honest, that's pretty much why I didn't walk the stage.
It's
I just wanted to go pick up my diploma.
It's not our school.
I didn't even go walk the stage. Like,
it's funny. Pra, his school just went through that, and I don't remember what school he taught at. But yeah, they shut it down just because of those tests that you just brought up.
That's what I mean, man.
And because of that, I got to see like a lot more stuff that I would have never seen had I not even been. Because you guys experienced it as a student, but I saw like like I guess some of the court stuff going on where you see all the people show up or the parents crying that their kid's gonna be relocated.
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense for them.
Yeah, man, we
blah,
had a
blah, blah.
kind of protest. They wanted us all in green. We protested. We're like, yo, if we don't get red gowns, none of us are pulling up. Like, we ain't in green.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not our school. That's not who we were. So we literally had to fight just to get red robes.
Damn.
Crazy, you know what I mean?
That's crazy. At the same time, though, it's cool that you had
State of Texas
you had
fraud.
access to the music stuff, because I always tell people, like, I only had 2 music classes my entire grade school from I was gonna say from 0, but from 1 to 12 or even high school. Is 12 high school? I can't remember.
Yeah, 12 high school.
When does high school end? Is it
12th grade?
Okay. Yeah, it's been a while,
Like, so
man.
I was in, like,
Luckily, I made it out, but
I was in like 15th grade.
yeah,
Right?
but I only had 2. I had 1 in high school and I had 1 in grade school, and I shit you not, like, and who knows? I wonder if my life would have changed, like, but there was 0 music instruments in both of those classes. It was just pictures on the wall.
Wow.
And I think maybe for the high school one we had a textbook. I don't know if we had. I feel like for the grade one we probably didn't.
What's the name of the class? Like music?
It was just
existence?
music. No, just music. Like that's it.
Music and how
music.
it exists.
And the second one, I can't remember the first one too much because, fucking kid. I don't know. But the second one's high school, so I remember that one a little bit more. And funny enough, that was taught by the same guy who ran detention. But but he was passionate about music. He was a fucking hardcore blues guy. BB King was fucking hero. He told all these stories, So like the only reason that class even get anything out of it is because he gave a fuck, because he about music. Whether he gives a fuck about teaching us or whatnot, but he's talking about some shit he loves. So you deliver that shit differently.
Right.
And maybe that's probably why I don't remember shit about the grade school. I just remember the room. It was blue room with like, here are the wind instruments. Things that make sense to me now because I know them now. But what the fuck is wind? like, what's a wind instrument? What's
It's interesting you say that
shit like
because that's like I didn't know how to formulate it to words, but that's kind of what I blame my folks on. Is they were passionate about the music they loved, so I got introduced to Isaac Hayes, Earth, Wind and Fire, BB King. Yeah, man, the vinyl collection that my pops has is immense, bro. It's worth a whole lot just.
I need to get him there. I need to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, man, get him on the podcast.
I'll be down.
He'd be down. Would be nice.
Well, you could do Boosh session too if he could perform at his spot. If we can do it there too, so that'd be cool.
Yeah. Bro, he'd be more than willing.
In his environment.
Yeah. Why not?
And this boy is like a musical historian. That's what I'm saying. Like I got like low key blessed with this golden information, man, because he knew so much. He knew actual musicians here, like in Texas, Latin Breed, and just like meeting like Sonny and the Sunliners, Ram Herrera, like just meeting people throughout the just experience of life. And as a DJ, there was a time where it was a separation. Like you're in a band and you're a DJ. Well, with
still some of that now though.
Kind of. But then again, someone like in his sense, there was a time where the bands in the 90s faltered and budget-wise, DJs got hired more.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, there was a more of an equal ground to be found, and he got revered for that. He got respected for that. He was even given a Sleeping Giant award for his life work. It's a local organization, but they pretty much like they gave one to Selena.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Then over time they started giving them to other people, and all of a sudden he ended up with one, which is just basically saying like you're a person of color, and you were able to do something with either your time or just throughout like within music. And given the fact that he was really the only product that would travel like to Corpus, Houston. I remember Laredo, like growing up, like he would take off trips and stuff. Like I couldn't follow him there because of school and stuff, but they would take off South Texas, little mini tour, DJing. They would do, either corporate events or like private parties and stuff. But with a 3-man show, it wasn't just a DJ. You got entertained at the same time. So you had vocalists, like they'd kind of, they're older cats, so they just move left and right. You know what I mean? But the visual is all you need. And that's something that, crazy enough, with an ensemble that I'm with here called Volcán, man, technically it's something I'm able to do to this day. Like, I'm able to get up on stage and act a fool in a sense, or just cut loose and dance, and that's one of my earliest memories because of him. You know what I mean? Like being able to get on stage and just cut loose. So it's strange how that's kind of translated from early childhood to like even right now. Like I'm still able to do that on a stage or in front of people. So it's in a sense like I'm at home. Just it's a comfort zone for me. So just like that, man. That's why I say I blame him, because it's just like that was the life he lived. That's what he was doing. He does that to this day. We did the 3-man show I think this past year, just like to revitalize it. Someone asked him to do it, and we did a little just 15 minutes, man. It was just he would do a skit or like skits with like My Girl, In the Mood, the little horn instrumental.
Yeah.
He had these like little plastic fake horns.
The song My Girl.
My Girl, he had like a routine, little dance routine with like different steps. But
is it that song My Girl?
Yeah, Temptations.
Yeah.
He do that. He had a YMCA. He do this weird thing with the like people back then like the chicken dance and like the honky tonk or like the stroll, and he'd get out there, with a wireless mic and just interact. Man, it wasn't what people are used to. And he's always been that. He's always been that kind of person, like just real sociable, real willing to get out there and just like kind of like there's no judgment. It's just like, hey, this is what we do. This is how we entertain.
It's an interaction.
Yeah, man. Just a connection. It's organic. It's crazy. But yeah, that's what he's really revered for. You know what I mean? Like he came up with that.
That's what's up. My father, is a hardcore musician, but growing up in New York, right? I'm growing up I never used the word project, but I'm in this like hip hop world, So my father wanted to teach me guitar like so much when I was young. And I was just never about it. Because like, especially like hearing this hip hop music, I was like, the fuck am I gonna do with this? Like
with a guitar, yeah.
So I just lost interest, and then he finally quit. I have a different musical journey that happened. Even though I don't actually play or make music till my early 20s, I ended up being a different way. Because like I never become a DJ. I actually become a bootlegger and all kinds of other weird shit. Yeah. And I couldn't afford I wanted to be a DJ, man, so bad. So we actually got a mixer. I think it was for my birthday. But we couldn't afford the decks, so I only had the mixer.
Dang.
So I just hooked up like 2 CD players.
Hell yeah.
And I could at least crossfade, and I started doing like mixtapes around the block.
Yo.
And that's the face I would get. Because you could crossfade, they know what a crossfade. I don't remember what they used to say, but like maybe they say fading in, but like, dude, the track went into this track. And it's like, I can't tempo change or nothing because I got 2 CD players, but everybody's like, it's fucking crazy, dude. Like, the song don't end, And I was just selling these tapes. And later on, thanks to as the internet became better, but I was selling bootleg real albums, I don't know if I should admit that or not, but I mean,
there's a disclaimer.
I never set up shop like the real...
for the artwork.
I never set up shop like the real bootleggers did.
Yeah.
But, like, I was... Sometimes I look at myself like, man, what happened? I was like a real hustler. I went up to every kid in my school. Yo, I sell tapes. I got such and such prices. I know I was dope, but I'm like, why am I broke now? Like, I used to be like this dude who was like, so I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And I'm kind of like that, I guess, with my arts now, but like all my arts just don't really make money. So
you got to get back on that tape.
You're right, though. You're right. But I actually went to a bootlegger's house, though. Like, I guess I never shut up shop, but like, I think I went there to like get an album or something. He didn't have it, but he lived in my neighborhood, so I just walked with him back to his spot. He puts on a shopping cart, dude, like HCB shopping cart, but just full of like CDs, just all CDs, the whole thing. But yo, I ain't going to his house, but I only saw like the door open. And there was like 6 or 7 more shopping carts, all CDs. And I was like, damn, that's top tier bootlegger, yo. Right. I was like, I don't got that much shit. I don't even got one. I don't even have a shopping cart, let alone. I was like, I am not trying. Yeah, I was like, damn, son, like that's real hustle. I was like,
yeah, man. That's
my man robbed Key Food.
I remember seeing this one cat be like, hey man, I got he was running with his mixtape. Yeah. And then he had like the greatest hits that was going on. Like the Lil Wayne's and
Yeah. They would be bootleg greatest hits back then. Like they weren't even like made by Sony or whoever the fuck.
The Nows and none of that shit. It was just bootleg. Yeah. But he had this little disclaimer on this, like, because it was like a funky artwork that was like handwritten.
Yeah. And told me he tried to call copyright on his bootleg.
Oh. check this out. In fine print on the bottom or like on the back, it had said, this, that, and the third. You're only paying for the album artwork. The whatever's on the CD is just promotional use only. Bro, that's the smartest thing.
I don't even know if that flies or not, but it's good.
No, it's the smartest thing in the world. It was just because he's like, the music is just promo use only, and I was like,
that's funny. That's funny.
Genius. How you gonna come after him? Like, shit. Yeah, I bought it for his artwork, not for what was in it.
Yeah, it just happened. Happened to be a Jay-Z record, though.
Yeah, it just happened to be everyone I could have got sued for. Yeah, man. Son. That type of hustle.
Can you imagine getting that lawsuit, though?
Right?
Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if there's, at least back then, maybe probably not now in 2018 with the internet and all the shit they had to adjust for, but I wouldn't be surprised, like, the very first guy, if he had the right lawyer, could maybe get away with that.
It's like the Napster time.
Yeah. I could totally see, like, the first guy, but
it was like a year
once there's a
the
precedent there and they adjust for that shit,
yeah, man.
But I bet you the first guy probably had a shot. Definitely. Damn, this is crazy.
It's like that one kid in school that always, like, cruise. One kid in school coming with a backpack loaded, bro. He had hot Cheetos. He had frozen
never did
Capri
the food
Suns.
Stuff, but I was always about tapes, man. Fucking tapes.
Music.
Yeah, tapes.
That's those kids with that hustle, man.
And then I retired.
Born hustlers.
I retired my sophomore year. I still remember sophomore year, day one. I had like 5-6 people just come up to me, dude. I ain't buy jack shit this summer, dude, because your price is so low. I just waited to buy it from you.
Wow.
But I told him, like, dude, I can't do it no more. Because I had never failed a class before, but like I got so about it. You know what happens when you find that thing you like. I got so about it. I was failing like school.
Oh shit.
And I actually failed math, and like that kind of put me on like the dumb kid math, you know? Like,
yeah.
So I was like, all right. And
bro, but see, that's the thing. Like, you making money over here,
right? Yeah.
How you failing math? Like,
well, all right. So like, I rather keep talking about this because this stuff is more fun. But I'm very anti college, and I have a degree, so I ain't like, so I can actually say that and be like, well, I actually went through it. Right. But I got a degree in finance, by the way.
Oh, shit.
But I'm anti college, and I don't want to say I'm anti school, which I kind of am, but at the very least, I'm anti the way it's taught. And I feel all of us would be smarter at because almost later on, you know how sad I was? I don't know what, it's probably moments in life, not the moment.
Right.
But the deeper I go into music and all it is just math.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, fuck, because you can't get away from that shit. And to be honest, it's everywhere. All these fucking computers.
Music is math. You deal
everything.
with octaves,
How the fuck you build this house?
Yeah.
You know, like math,
everything.
Physics, all this shit is everything. The problem is, though, they teach raw math.
Right.
They like it's ODB or some shit. Which maybe I like that shit raw. You know, like raw math, raw science. They don't teach applications of it. Because if they were teaching that shit through like I don't know what like the fun science thing, but like if you were teaching some shit like, yo man, like whatever the fuck it is, people. I don't know what fuck people like now that would be young, but like games is fucking math. Like all that shit. And that shit's hot right now because it wasn't. You know, I used to get picked on for that shit when you growing up. But yeah, like everything is everything. So if they would teach the cool shit, whatever it is, they teach video programming, whatever, and now inadvertently they learn that shit, but it shouldn't be just raw math because that's no one, for the most part, most people don't just like numbers, you know? They are those people, but it ain't society. So
to add to that,
yeah.
My complaint, especially when I went to college, you start learning like Sudoku math, essentially. It's problem solving math. So it's not application at all.
Yeah.
It's let's figure out this puzzle.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with how to excel you. It just has something to keep your brain busy.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm not a fan of traditional education. I went to get certified for mariachi because I wanted to teach mariachi. Once I got certified for mariachi, in a matter of like 2 years, I turned around and saw the rest of the program to get certified in the state of Texas and was like, yo, you ain't gonna let me teach till I'm like 30.
Damn.
Because I wanted a master's, you know what I mean? I wanted the rest. And I was like, yo, once I laid everything out, I really wasn't going to be able to do what I wanted to do until like age 30. Like seriously, it was going to be like 8 years. I was like, man, screw this. Like, I think I was like 20, 21 at the time. And I was like, I don't want to wait till I'm...
That's almost doctor length.
Exactly. I was like, yo, this
be a doctor of mariachi.
This plan that the counselor laid out for me that was like, yeah, man, this is how you're going to do it. It was like, that shit don't make sense. the thing that was messed up is I had just got certified by a teacher who had an honorary degree from Texas A&M. And I was like, well, hold up, an honorary degree? Like, how did you get that? And he was like, man, basically life experience. He'd been doing mariachi for, the extension of his life. And they were like, hey, look, you're the only guy that's qualified to teach this class because of your experience. We're going to give you an honorary degree so that you can get this job. The fuck am I doing here? You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing with this traditional education? I need to go to like a trade school or something. I need to get out there and actually learn what was going on. So I said, man, I'm checking out. I seriously, I got certified, saw the rest of the game plan, was like, within that same year, I was in John Jay High School teaching mariachi as a specialist. Age 20, age 21, you know what I mean? Doing what I wanted to do immediately. And it was based on my current knowledge at the time. I mean, granted, I got my certification, so it's like, who's going to question me?
Yeah.
All I need to do is finish my programming and I would be in school, teaching. But I saw this like, I wasn't, as a specialist, I wasn't locked down to that school. I taught at South San at the same time. It's kind of like double dipping almost. Like I would teach over here, come teach over here.
Yeah.
I would teach private, private lessons, things like that, or on my own accord. So I was like, man, I ended up doing what I wanted to do anyway, without scholastic help or without a traditional education, all the way up until this day. Like I'm still doing it, the production and everything else. We got accredited for being one of the tops in the area. So it's like, I didn't need a degree to do that. You don't need a degree to do that. You know what I mean? It's your own initiative. There's guys with degrees who are working Starbucks right now. You know what I mean? Waiting tables and stuff. Like, what'd you do with that piece of paper that you spent all this money on paying a student loan back and shit? What are you doing with that piece of paper? It literally has nothing to do with that piece of paper. It has everything to do with your initiative and your drive to what you want in your dreams or what you want with this life that you're given, man. We're given this beautiful opportunity, this breath of life. And there's so much distractions. There's so much crap. This rent and bills and unnecessary shit on TV and shit that, drama and interrelationship drama. And, with social media, you have other psychosocial issues that are coming into play with egos and, things like that. Like the Facebooks and the MySpaces and shit. That's me. That's only this. That has nothing to do with community. That has nothing to do with us. It's the promotion of a self-image, the promotion of an ego. So all of a sudden you got everybody making a profile, making a me. Everyone's got an ego or a self-image to promote. And there's a platform on it where even your grandma can sign up for it nowadays. Like there's so much separation within each other. There's been so much division. How can you have unity? You know what I'm saying? You have all these psychosocial issues. I studied psychology. That was like my minor. I love psychology. Sigmund Freud and just really like development of the mind from when you're an adolescent to you could be 30 years old and not get out of the adolescent stage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the psychosocial development. So you have all these characteristics, or you have all these variables that come into play that can confuse someone in their life journey, in their development of themselves, where they have all these hindrances and they have all these distractions of just, you got to pay attention to this, or you got to pay attention to that. Supposedly, man, you could say, fuck that, cut all that out and just focus on what you want to do. And that's kind of what I had the luxury of experiencing. Was I call it a luxury because not everyone does it, or not everyone has it. Like sometimes I feel like I'm on the outside looking in to like this big old spectrum where everybody's just, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like they're paying attention to either what's happening on TV or what CNN or Fox News is feeding them. It's like, man, I cut that shit off a long time ago. It's just like, dude, I don't want to pay attention to the narrative. If someone dies, let me know, but cool. Like that's about it. If you're gonna change the world, cool, let me know. But the rigmarole or just like the petty drama, the Maya, as I learned it, is just, it's unnecessary, man. It's cloudy to the human experience. It's gonna cloud your judgment. It's gonna throw a bunch of nonsense in the way, and you're not gonna really see what your potential is. With your journey, with your life path. Like there's so much you could do, but instead we get caught up in all this bullshit, bro. We get caught up in all this drama. We get caught up in petty shit that don't matter, like relationships and loans and just stuff that applies pressure. The fucking court system, like, bro. if you've never been to jail, if you've never been like pulled over, like it's the ugliest feeling. You grew up as a kid like, hey, these guys are superheroes. They got an S on their chest. As you get older, fuck no, dude.
It's a legalized gang, dude.
Legal extortion, gang, man. Dude. Like there's so much. The reason
why they wear a color too.
Yeah, there's so much extra that is underlying, that is hidden. I mean, we're living basically in this society, in Western culture, we're living a lie, man. As a whole, we're living a lie. Like the moment we can rip this damn veil off of our heads or this sheet, this cloak or whatever it is, you just pull off your head and you kind of come up like, oh shit.
It's hard to come out of the matrix, dude.
Yeah, there's so much more to life.
Even when you come out, it's real easy to slip back in. It's
really easy.
It's not like the movie where you can't get in. No, you can fall right back in. Like really,
you log right into Facebook and you're back in it.
Yeah,
you reconnected. Like spirituality, man. Like connect yourself. Take off your fucking shoes. Go to the earth and step down. Like reconnect with the ground where you're from. There's people who will go almost 30, 40 years, an entire career where they got rubber-soled shoes. They literally walk on concrete. It's non-conductive. You never reconnect with the earth, and you wonder why you got cancer, and you wonder why you have illnesses, and you wonder why you're confused with life. When's the last time you reconnected? You're running around completely disconnected from this earth with what you're wearing or your lifestyle. Because you could walk in your house, you get off your car, there's pavement or there's concrete. You walk inside your house, you never touch the ground. And then you go to sleep, you wake up, you go do it again. You never touch the ground. You never reconnect with this rock.
When was the last time y'all touched the ground? Because I was going through it in my head. I was like, I don't know. And I got like ground where I live right now. So I was like,
I did it yesterday.
When I was outside.
Why? Just right here?
Oh, no, this morning. I walked out barefoot this morning. He told me my girl had knocked out his mirror with my truck. Last night.
Told me that. Told me.
I went out there shirtless, bro. I don't go out shirtless for nothing. But I went out there like, what the... What is going on?
Big ass line on his tailgate.
Bro. That's funny. I had called her last night too. She'd already hit the road. And I was like, yo, don't wreck my truck. And she's like, nah, it's cool. I got it.
You put it out there. You said don't wreck my truck.
It had already been done.
It already happened. Right. So.
You felt the ripple.
I felt it. Yeah.
That was it. I
felt it. I was like, yo, please don't wreck my shit. Oh, man. She's like, oh, no, it's cool. I got you.
Damn.
Scratch riding around with that big old scratch all night. Like, yo, come on now. But yeah, man, it's life, and that's what I'm saying. Like the ripple, you know, I've had the luxury of experiencing, you know, acid and mushrooms and other psychedelics, peyote. Respectfully though, it wasn't for like a recreational thing. It was like it was for me. It was always spiritualism. So when I got to see those, and that veil gets lifted because of this, you get to see, man. There's so much more. There's this whole grid that exists, this fabric of existence that is touched on by like Einstein and touched on by Tesla and touched on, you know, by the greats that have their theorems or their mindset is pretty much just lasted the test of time because this shit is real. It's true. There's a reason why it's still around. There's a reason why when Plato's saying, man, smart people are going to get ridiculed just because of the way of the world. This was 500 BC. Shit. You see some Plato quotes and you're like, bro, was this written yesterday? Because we're still dealing with this bullshit. Like, how is this 2,500 years in the past and we're still dealing with the simple shit of just loving each other?
Of Battlestar Galactica, and their phrase was, "It has happened before and it will happen again." Wow. Yeah, that's literally like the intro and ending of the show. It's just that phrase.
Yeah, like Star Wars. Where does Star Wars get played? Like before or after this? It don't matter. It could be happening right now. All we know, in another universe, on another plane, just like that. Battlestar, like it could be happening anywhere else. We're ignorant to think we're the only living existence, or only consciousness in the universe right now. Like and I've had people sit there with a straight face and be like, "Yeah, man, it's only us." Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I would just say, I don't know, because I don't know. But
I can feel it.
Yeah,
I can feel like that's what I mean by like a luxury, like. I've been able to,
but I'm not close to it. I'm like, it's totally realistic to think there's something else out there. I just don't know because I don't know. Yeah. Because I don't know. But yeah, no, like to be close to it is ridiculous. Because, I mean, if you're gonna believe one thing, right, there's more than. If we just keep it to us, right, there's 8 or 7 planets depending on what you want to count that last one. I don't know if I feel like sometimes we count Pluto now, sometimes we don't. But beyond that, there's so much shit.
Like
So
we're the
I'm
only
like,
solar system out here. Like we're
that's
the
the
only
old.
galaxy.
What was
like,
the old Tiger Woods bet? Like you take Tiger out of the field, and I'm like, well, based on the numbers they given me, there's so many numbers out there. It's probably just safer to take the field, and there probably is something there.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Like so far, you
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
I mean, look at his career. It's not all him.
Well, I didn't even know, but I just already went back to space now. I just meant like
Yeah.
there's so many numbers because right now we know that it's only us, right? No, right?
Supposedly, yeah.
Yeah, but there's so much more numbers there that we haven't that we haven't actually been to.
That's why I like entertaining
Yeah.
like the reptilian theories, or like the fact that like this Earth is like a test planet. You ever heard of those?
I hear what I hear a lot these days. The simulation. I don't know if you would count that as a test, but
Test
I hear
planet,
the,
yeah,
the
pretty
much a
simulation.
test planet.
Yeah. So that they're basically saying like the certain races or certain cultures are native, but certain other cultures aren't, and they got placed here. They got planted here.
I
so
haven't
that we
heard it
can
like
see.
that.
Yeah. So like the Aryan nation, bunch of white folks.
Yeah.
They're the only ones who when it comes down like a cellular structure, they don't fit this planet. Their skin burns under the sun. So you're not like, where you from? Like most organisms here have already evolved, adaptation, at least in a sense, to adapt body wise or evolution wise, whether you believe that or not, to, Hispanics, black folks, or whatever you want to say. Like your skin can recept the sun and it's fine. White folks can't. There's something about them that is just, it's foreign. So where are you from? Don't say Europe. You know what I mean? Like
I was just coming to mama. I was like Finland, and I was like, I don't know, one of them.
The
One of
Netherlands.
them we don't get sun, or maybe we get darkness the whole year. One of those weird
Yeah.
shits or some shit.
Like the theory of like the Mayan culture, how there was like there's no remnants, or like there's a whole like there's no like bones, there's no like anything like that evidence, like they're just gone. Like where'd they go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there were some of the ones that even back in their day, they were messing with pyramids and with structures that actually geographically, scientifically, astronomically, mathematically were perfect.
Yeah.
Like they were positioned and built to the centimeter, to the millimeter.
I'm still waiting on the Egyptian one, like how they got built.
Right. and how that numerically, from its height to where it's at, how it matches up to the stars. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
y'all didn't have iPads back then. How'd
Real
y'all figure this shit out?
Cool shit with math again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How did this come about? Y'all didn't have half of the technology, quote unquote, that we have right now, or that we know of, or that we're aware of. Like y'all didn't. There's no sign of that. So how'd y'all figure that out in the dirt?
Yeah, I feel like that shit. Who knows if the time travel shit ever really does happen? But I feel like that's one of them shits we might never know about.
I feel like this Earth, or this like government, or this like structure that we're under has already been taken over. They're already infiltrated. They're already in there, and it's become a norm. We're just kind of used to it.
You mean some like Illuminati shit, or
if you want to slap a title on it, that's why I like the reptilian intervention type of thing, because it's like it's basically saying like another species has come to rule. And when you have examples like your Trumps, or your Bilderbergs, or your Table of 300, or even the fact that America is still on paper paying taxes to the Queen, who owns us? Every Social Security.
I don't know the Queen thing, but the first thought that came to
No,
mind
yeah,
was
check
China. China owns.
I mean, stock market maybe. Yeah.
It's
But,
like-
but no joke. You check out what is it, the Magna Carta or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I kind of feel bad not mentioning the exact one, but there's a treaty where America still pays money to the crown. So that means you never left.
Never,
You're not
never
free.
forget. Never
Exactly.
Forget.
You're not free from that. Like you're still paying these people off. You're still connected in a sense. So we're just an extension of. Like, yeah, we left for religious reasons. Y'all weren't getting enough. Y'all want to make your own. That's what pisses me off about where I'm at right now. It's like, bro, I want to make my own money. I want to print my own stuff. Why can't I? Oh, because homeboy over there already called shotgun on the playground. That's all it is. It's a big ass playground. You got the bullies over there who are like, nah. We're the ones that said that these are the castle rules. And they're running the show right now. It's adolescence.
Man, being
psychological development.
first has a lot of advantages.
Right. All they did was be like, hey, look, You see this piece of paper? Shotgun.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta listen now. What kind of simpleton ass like mind fuck is that? Like, well, I wasn't born yesterday. Like, what the fuck you mean? Like, then this is no bullshit. You will be shot, you will be killed, or thrown in a cage if you don't listen to these shotgun rules. Oh, you don't follow our rules on the playground? Cool, we got a cage for you. And we got the dude who's over there with the IQ, because to be a beat cop, you got to be within a certain IQ. Because if your IQ surpasses that, you're a detective. You go higher.
But you can't just start out as detective, right?
No, right. But if your IQ is within a certain range, that's where they keep you. So you could be a pawn.
Chess.
It's chess. Yeah. The king and queen over there. It's to keep the masses huddled. To keep them, that's why they came up with religion. They came up with all these social structures to trick the mind.
Yeah, religion be seeming like some control shit for real.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Belief and false, like really false stories. Like someone that argues the Bible with me or something like that. It's like, bro.
The fact the Vatican exists, yo, that's some crazy
exactly.
shit. That's some crazy shit.
You got one of the wealthiest organizations.
Why can't you even say that? Like about some religious shit.
Talking about
that should never be said. That shouldn't even exist.
Yeah, like
Jesus rolling over his grave.
We're gonna do this in the name of God, and we're gonna make sure that everybody. Well, shit, do it.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up and do it already. Stop molesting kids and then putting out fucking.
That's just crazy too. Like how that report that just came out.
Putting out PR statements being like, "Oh, our bad, bro." Share the damn wealth.
The fact that they won't cooperate in investigations, like that's insane.
Yeah.
That's like there's this whole thing going on right now in politics. It's not one that's taken seriously, but it's been brought up so much that some of the serious shows bring it up to make fun of it. The whole I guess pedophile ring in the politics thing.
Bro, apparently they said that's why Anthony Bourdain died or came up dead. And then who's the other actress? That's crazy.
I haven't heard that.
Another actress. Apparently they were gonna put out a report and blow the lid on Hillary Clinton's involvement and
So you hear it a lot with Hillary. I don't even remember why I put that up. But it had to do with but fine, it does sound insane. But is it though? Because we just have this other religious organization who, I guess that's not a ring, but it's doing something similar, and it's just like, it was silly till it was real, So as silly as that shit is, and I'm not saying that shit's real yet, but it's just like, how can you...
You can't put it past them
that's what I'm saying, because it's like, they're both just as silly, but one is real. So who's to say that the minute there isn't evidence, it's just like, well,
then again,
there's precedent for that.
It's
shit.
much like music. Let's take a look at their body of work. When's the last time you saw Hillary Clinton putting, nail to a hammer, and or vice versa? Like, when's the last time you saw these people building or contributing to the community? What the fuck you doing with your time? And then you're not coming out making public statements or saying like, oh, this is wrong, or they're not, they're not in the wrong for saying it. Like, you're not coming out defending yourself. I almost feel
like the PC playbook is like, you don't even waste your time turning down, because right now that's an outlandish theory. You don't waste your time with those. It would have to be the only time they're gonna say, "Hey, I didn't do that." It has to be something more serious, like, "Hey, I didn't." Not serious, but like serious. And
if somebody came up and was like, "Hey, Rich is part of a pedophile ring," I'd say some shit about it.
But you see,
I'd be like,
but the difference is like the ring isn't even exist yet for now. It doesn't.
Well, or it's so exclusive that no one's to talk about. It's like Fight Club.
But I'm just talking about in terms of what we know right now, the ring doesn't exist, right? So to deny something that doesn't even exist seems silly. Versus like if someone died,
or to deny that it exists whatsoever.
Yeah. To deny that it exists whatsoever almost gives validation that it exists.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So who's to say that it doesn't?
I don't know. That's the best I can say. I said same thing as the life thing.
That's the beautiful mystery, but at the same time, someone can't sit there like someone who's like poor on the west side, and they're saying, "Man, I'm voting for Trump because he's lowering taxes." I said, "Bro, you're not even in the same tax bracket to have your taxes affected by a tax cut. You're not there." "Oh, nah," but he said he's got my better interest in mind. When? Now we're what, 2-3 fiscal years in? where's your help that you're talking about? Where's your
process?
Oh, it's coming. It's, Bush said the same shit. It still ain't coming. Obama said the same shit. It still ain't coming. Cat Williams was one of my favorite. He made one of the most awesome points, bro. He's like, Obama could have got elected and went up there and said, I want all gangbangers to go up there and pick up trash. And you damn right everybody would have done it, bro. But he didn't. With that power, with that pedestal, with that range of influence, he didn't. That's low-key alarming. It's low-key discouraging. It's low-key like, hey, you know what? What are your real intentions? Was just to make sure you didn't get shot? Like, where's that person who's gonna come in here like an MLK or like really like Henry B. Gonzalez and be like,
a game.
Put their name on the line and be like, look, we need to make a change, man. We need to make something happen. Cesar Chavez, Rosa Parks type of shit. Like, just sticking their neck out. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to. I mean, and that's what ends up happening with these people, man. They stick their neck out there and they get killed for it, or they get ridiculed for it. I'd rather die doing that and get ridiculed for doing that than get ridiculed for being in a fucking pedophile ring.
They saw. No one's perfect, but they saw JFK, man. And if he got clapped, you know, when's the last time a Kennedy...
He was coming after the mafia, though.
When's the last time a Kennedy went after real office? You know, not just
damn
Ted
right. They learned their lesson.
They all chilled out after that.
My pops was around for that. He told me, man, Kennedy was going after the Federal Reserve and the mafia.
Can't do that.
Can't do that.
Fed don't exist.
We're a figment of your imagination.
Well, I mean, it don't exist because it's like it is government, but it isn't. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
That's what I mean.
The only thing, and the same thing with the FBI and all the shit. Federal is a word, bro.
I always say this too. Now
it holds no value. It holds
here's
no
where
water.
I say some crazy shit because I'm not trying to say nothing about killing presidents or nothing. So like, but it's funny because I've never seen any of the shadow agencies, so like the CIAs or like the state, I guess they like to call it now, but the CIAs and FBI in the news until Trump started attacking them the way he does now. And in my head, the thought that comes to my mind, you know, and I ain't saying any of this is gonna happen or nothing, or I want any of this time. I don't know, man. Motherfuckers this is PC world, so I have to keep prefacing it every 2 sentences.
Political correctness.
Yeah. But I'm like, it's a world where a lot of people believe, well, whether we believe it or not, JFK is dead, right? I don't know how it happened, but a lot of people believe that we did that shit. Not us, these guys, but like the government. The government. So I'm like,
you ever been there? You been to Dallas?
No, well, I've been to Dallas. I haven't been to that area, no.
Dude.
One day.
I went there.
But let me just say this, and you said, like, these people, like, so if we're to maybe assume that maybe the government killed one of our presidents, and now you're attacking those agencies that are probably the agencies that, like, who's to say that one of these guys doesn't get tired?
They're gonna dust you real quick.
Because I'm just saying, like JFK thing's not proven, but we teach right now in grade school that those same agencies, the CIA, I'm thinking of, in public, like they're on record. There's a whole Middle East that hates us right now because we have removed their leaders and put in our leaders.
Yeah.
And we don't even got to go too far. Iraq, you know, like.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of even more shadier stuff. I'm thinking of Iraq or Iran in the 50s when
Syria.
we put the SAR and all that shit. All those things.
Those were the remaining countries that did not have centralized banking.
So I'm just saying, like, it ain't like those same agencies that he attacks on a daily basis. It ain't like they haven't removed leaders before. Whether they did JFK or not was another thing. But the fact that they're on record having done to other countries. So who's to say that like one of these guys just doesn't get tired and it's just like, all right, dude, you gotta enough, you know? Because I've never seen them in the spot. Most people probably spend like their whole life without ever thinking about CIA and FBI, and the way they're in the spotlight now, that's insane. That's insane.
I had met a CIA agent or an ex-CIA agent.
Yeah.
And he told me a kind of with full confidence, the fact that I probably wouldn't share it, but I ain't gonna mention names, but
yeah.
I hope we don't wind up dead because of it. But he said
you don't have to say it. Just say it if it's that serious. You don't have to.
But this is what I mean by like the fuckery that's going on. Like, how can you not put it past these people? He said that he got a file that landed on his desk that said you have to wreck a bus full of kids and make it look like an accident. He said that was the reason why he left the agency. That's the reason why he walked. He had done everything else they'd asked of him. Once that file came up and it involved kids, he was out. What do you think they did with that file?
Give it someone else.
Put it on somebody else's fucking desk.
Like, it's work.
And I remember back in, early 2000s, there was like 2-3 stories that had, oh, this school bus flipped and crashed and so many so died. Oh, this other school bus over here in Florida, or the FedEx truck makes a collision with a school bus and shit that's going on tour, coming back, and it was like a coach bus and it flipped off the road. Who's to say?
Well, when we growing up, right, you always hear this thing that sounds like stupid shit. It's called knowledge is power, right? And that shit makes no sense when you're growing up.
Right.
But now I know, I'm old enough to know, like, what you're just saying, those scenarios, we only know what we know, and that's the true power of knowledge. So, like, to the outside looking in, there's an accident of kids, and that's how you can use the influence. Like, let's say they're just trying to change a law for some shit, I don't know, involving school buses and kids or something.
Right.
Shit is going bad, but now shit's wrecked. Now you have precedent, so why she would change the law? So, I understand sometimes the skepticism is, even though a lot of these things are conspiracy theories and whatnot, but it's like, but it makes sense. Some of the shit that is proven, like that, Alex Jones is crazy. I get it. Yeah. No. But, like, some of the stuff, especially earlier on, because it seemed like he kind of went crazy as the money started coming in. But some of the earlier stuff, like, there's things I ain't know about, like, that you can look up right now. A long time ago. Alex Jones?
Yeah, I met him in person in Austin before he went off the deep end with the shit.
Dude,
he was, like, conspiracy theories and, like, the Bohemian Grove. He had, like, tapes about, like, the special little areas that the president and everybody else goes to like worship the devil and make sacrifices and shit of goats or people or kids. I don't know what they do, but you can't put it past these people.
Dude, like, I know exactly where I was. I remember 9/11 perfectly. I remember that whole day. But so, like, I'm not a 9/11 conspiracy guy, dude, but at the same time, I've seen those reports. I think it was the 60s or 50s. Those files about, like, I think it was about doing something in Florida or something around the time of, like, the whole Cuban crisis or whatever, just to make it look like it was them, even though it's us attacking us. And it's just like, so, like, again, like, that shit ain't been proven, but at the same time, there's also precedent for us doing that shit.
Like, my pops was around to see the effects of Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
And I remember him telling me, like, yo, why did it just so happen that the United States ordered all the sonars to go down for an update while they had this attack coming? They must have known that shit was coming because there was information in there that, like, was exclusive to us. We didn't fucking alarm Japan, be like, hey, we're gonna knock our sonars down for a little bit. We're like, hey, come around this time, tell these people we're gonna do an update. And at the time, they were about to fall into a Great Depression again in that era. And my pops says, man, the one way that you generate money, it can't, like, an economical boom, is to start war.
Yeah.
That's the only way the money's going to exchange hands. So you take a 9/11 situation after Desert Storm and all this other stuff where there's a calm coming. Fuck, we need a reason to make some money. Fuck it, what do you want to do? Let's do another Pearl Harbor. And then you have these flights, which you look at the films, Delta, American Airlines, flight number, whatever. You have bro, we live right here by Lackland. Every single Air Force plane that flies over this house is gray. There's no logos. There's no little AA, nothing. There's no color on it. It's gray. What color were the planes that slammed into those towers? You remember the logo being on the side? Not one. They were gray. So whose planes were those? Commercial flights? I ain't stupid. I've been on commercial flights. They got Shamu painted on the side, or they got their logos everywhere. Under it, they got a bunch of shit. It wasn't a Southwest flight that flew into the night. You know what I mean? In the towers. It wasn't even a Delta flight.
I don't know. Off the top of my head, like, just footage in my head, that who knows how old it is. They look like normal planes to me, but I mean, like, yeah, it's always bad footage anyway. They're like,
they were grayed, bro. Remember. They were grayed out. I remember being 6th grade. I was in a choir class right next door to Mr. Kret's room. They called us all up. I was in the hallway when we stopped. We did the pledge. Everyone, like, stops and Heil Hitler.
Yeah.
Fucking same shit. That's the same shit. Whether it's here, up here, or right here, you're doing the same fucking shit. You're pledging to something that's not you. So we get a thing. Oh, keep everyone in your prayers. This tragedy that just happened. And then they're like, hey, you guys, if y'all want to come see what's going on, we have a TV in one of the rooms. Well, shit. get out of class. We weren't doing anything in there anyway, right? Get out of class, so I go see what's up. We had saw the first one on fire already. And then on live TV, I saw that second one coming and was like, yo, look at the boom. And that shit made contact. And I remember seeing it clear as day, bro. That shit was gray. Blacked out. There was no color on that plane. There was no nothing. I thought it was a military plane at the time. And then you look at like the structural damage that it did. When you pay attention to other occurrences that happened throughout time, like a building that burned down in Spain. That thing burnt, bro. The whole shell burnt and the whole frame stood. The whole building caught fire from root to the fruit, the whole thing. And the frame stood. How did this thing hit at the top and without it tilting or without this part breaking first, everything collapsed straight down? The meat is at the bottom of the structure. How did this make the meat fall? This would have to crumble first in order for this to come down. Now, granted, I don't have an engineering degree.
Yeah.
Pay attention, common sense. You don't have to have an engineering degree to just be like, hey, you know what? That don't look right. Something about that. And then you look at other videos where you have secondary explosions that are happening. Other videos that I have yet to see since I saw them. But there was like firefighters and cops on the ground for that 9/11 situation that are, as you got a guy with a camera, going through the street, you hear. You got cops being like, there's secondary explosions. We don't know what's going on. That's a debt. You're just weakening the structure so that this thing can come down. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. It takes common sense in most cases. Or you go, oh no, it's my government. They have my better interest in mind and at heart.
I don't know.
How would you live with that? How would you be like, nah, man, they couldn't do that. Them? What? Senator who so-and-so, I voted for, man, he wouldn't do that. They couldn't do that.
I mean, on the one hand, it's like there's no reason to believe they have your best interest in mind. But like at the same time, it's like, I don't know. So I would like to think that it's not that we didn't do that
from
to
an
ourselves.
objective standpoint.
Yeah,
from an objective, I guess, a debatable standpoint.
Yeah.
The person who throws their hands up and says, "I don't know," usually loses. The person with any type of reasoning behind them, it makes sense, or they come out.
But at the same time,
in that
I know what you're trying to say, but at the same time, in a court of law, you wouldn't have any evidence right now, though.
A lot of it got swept under the rug.
Like, I know, but this is what I'm saying. So I only know what I know. And right now, it's dumb period.
It's like more Gaddafi. A lot of people don't know what happened to Gaddafi aside from the fact that he got his ass beat till they killed him.
Yeah.
Gaddafi wanted to switch from US dollars to either his own or gold. I think he would to trade for oil.
Yeah.
He wanted to come off the dollar. They couldn't have that shit. We control you. You do business with us. It's the mafia. You do business with us. If not, we do what we always do. We call up who we call up, and they show up low key and take you out.
I will say that is one of the most disappointing things to me, though, as a country. And obviously, it's easier said than done. But the fact that we still rely on oil, like that is just disgusting.
Why is marijuana still illegal?
I'm a big fan. I believe.
We got so much money. We got lobbyists. Man, it's so public now. You have people that have like lobbied to make sure that this shit is still illegal. You got companies that lobby with the pharmaceutical company to make sure that it doesn't interfere with their money that they're making.
Yeah.
The oil industry's putting in, because really, you get a field of hemp, it replaces fossil fuels. You don't got to drill no more. But that puts old white boy out of business.
Yeah.
And somebody else makes money. But Cousins got political ties with Bush and with fucking Halliburton and Dick Cheney and everybody else.
Yeah.
They got money to make. So until these fools die off, or their son or their daughter or grandchildren come up and be like, hey, you know what? Damn, if you keep drawing oil out of your body, draw oil out of your body every day. You think you dry up right there?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, this one's dry. Okay, let me do it over here. Or let me do it over here. Let me do it over here. Imagine I'm a planet. Bro, once all these oil wells dry up of natural oil, what happens to the planet? It's dead. It's done. Why wouldn't you grow something that you can continually reproduce, because you, in your own intentions, don't expect to live forever. So fuck it. Let's destroy it. I'm not gonna be here to see it anyway. I'm 86.
I think because of that, you know how like movies, like to always tell the future, like, oh, it's run by corporations and shit. And you know, we've always sort of had that with lobbyism and stuff, but
video games too.
Yeah. But I think in reality, I feel like we're heading that way. Less about them even controlling government, more that like now, like government doesn't take the initiative. You know, like if you look at the internet and where it's at now, but who made it, right? Wasn't it the army or some shit, right? Military around that time, or at least sort
they
of.
They got involved.
Yeah.
They got involved, but it's people like yourself, people like us that just were curious.
No, and then that's when it goes to the next level. But what I'm trying to say is like almost all innovation at some point was government related. Like, and I don't even mean like a senator did it. Yeah. I mean like one of just like that whole circle. Like involved. NASA did shit. You know, like some shit. And you see less of that now, and that like there just seems to never be but you know, NASA's at its lowest probably budget of all time. There seems to be less room for R&D now, and we're doing this. But what's happening is like the corporations are taking it upon themselves to do it, you know. So now they're the ones pushing space travel with Amazon, whatever company that is, Blue, SpaceX. Whatever the fuck. SpaceX is Tesla, but Amazon has one too, or and Bezos has one.
Right.
Virgin guy has one. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like the corporations, not that I don't know if they would take over, but they're almost gonna be the leaders anyway, because well, it's no longer coming from the government now, because for whatever reason they don't want to.
Well, like Tesla's ideas. Psychology has this theory.
Actual Tesla or
Nikola, yeah.
Okay.
Psychology has this theory where a genuine idea coming from one person is always going to have a greater outcome than groupthink. So like a Congress was a. I feel like term.
That's usually the most people think the opposite.
Right, most people think the opposite because they figure if you throw in your idea, we're going to come up with a greater idea. Psychology fundamentally says that's incorrect. It's got to come from one person, and everyone's got to follow that idea and push it. That would be the greater outcome. Groupthink actually never comes up with the greatest outcome that you could think of, because so many inputs dilute the actual initial idea or where you're trying to get.
But it can turn into something greater.
Can, or it turns into something that's slightly different. So yeah, you have the same initiative, or you have the same fundamental theorem of what you're trying to do, or what you're trying to push, yet you don't yield the greatest outcome because you guys just decided to just dilute. You threw in, it's like overcooking a platter. You threw in all these flavors, and all of a sudden it's just like, something ain't right. Man, just make an egg. In some cases, it's fine. You know what I mean? But if you put basil and salt and pepper and paprika and this other stuff, what?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I got an egg, but I mean, it's colorful and stuff, and it's got like this character to it, but it's not the greatest outcome that it could be. Because you don't have one person that's just like, man, I'm gonna make an egg and throw salt on it. A little bit of pepper. Everybody follow that. Nah, I'm gonna throw in my 2 cents, and I'm gonna throw in this, I'm throwing that. Congress was a word to describe a group of baboons, essentially. It's primal. So you have a Congress of a bunch of idiots that are over here coming up with the not greatest outcome because they all want to throw in their 2 cents. Or when it comes to like a bill, something's got to, let me put in this piece of legislation because I got to make some money on a private contract. Ooh, let's stack this under here because low key we have an intention to, build a wall. Stuff like that. That's why other stuff doesn't come through the pipeline, because you have all these other flavors that are diluting the goal. Like Democrats having trouble with certain immigration laws because this guy says, okay, you know what? Yeah, we'll give up your immigration law, or we'll make that happen, but build this wall for us.
Part of me is thinking like inside of the way you were describing Volcán, that it was kind of singularly faced, but
right.
But would that not be an example of maybe the singularness making it worse versus the?
Well, see, here's the thing.
Yeah.
In that sense, you have one person who's come up with an idea, who's refusing outside input. However, if that outside input is to change the characteristic or the fundamental, reasoning behind that project, yeah, you're going to have a completely different outcome. However, if you have someone to come in and say, hey, man, let's push that idea, that's not groupthink. That's the opposite. That's someone came up with an idea and we got behind it. And that's how this becomes the greatest outcome, because psychologically it says that's how that works. If I come in and say, you know, man, you should change this and you should do this, it's not the original product anymore because groupthink has infiltrated.
But sometimes that's also evolution, though. Sometimes it shouldn't be the original project. That's why it goes into the next thing.
And in some cases it works. Strangely enough, hit or miss, whether it was the greatest outcome or not, it's still gonna exist. And someone's still gonna look at it as its body of work, and someone's still gonna say, hey,
I mean, you see everything I do. I'm, for better or worse, probably way too DIY. So I'm way just me, and that's it. But I think group is fine. I think groups can work great.
And I'm a synergist. Yeah. I believe it. I want to fight that fight and say, you know what? If I bring in his mind and we do this together, we can do it. However, when it comes to like mixing and mastering tracks or making songs, it's to complement each other. And we end up doing that naturally. We end up saying, hey, you know what? Let's complement what you already have. And it's not saying like, oh, let me take this idea you made and completely send it to the left. Nah, it's let's just build on that. Let's build on that idea. That is not groupthink. That is, we're following that original thought and we're going to better that thought.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in a sense, psychologically, man, like when it comes to a group of people who have different interests, and really I'm speaking on a political standpoint, because I'm sitting here going, why is nothing being done? Why do we still have all these issues? Why do we still have stuff that we've combated since 500 BC? These same social issues, these same petty, misconceptions.
Is that something that you want to do?
Yeah, that's something that I speak of within the music, man. It was the reason for the basis of the Why Are You Here album. It was to question that, like, what is your purpose here? A lot of the lyrics, a lot of the points that I make drive that home. Or at least touch on that, or just say, this exists. There's a whole other world that could be if we got rid of these inhibitions, or if we got rid of these desires to dilute. Like you have corporations who have desires to dilute the narrative to make sure that marijuana stays legal. Prime example, like people want to dilute the conversation and just change the value of it. They want to change its reasoning or its purpose. Marijuana is illegal right now because, hey, we can't patent it. It's from God. It's from Earth. We can't patent that, and that's in their rules. They can't patent it. So, what can you do? Make a synthetic version like a pill, and we own it, and then we can make money off that.
I think all drugs should be illegal. Like I think
countries that have done that.
I think I know, but some people think I'm crazy for that. But I think.
What was the one country that did that? The major company. Someone did that.
I mean, most people usually think of Amsterdam. I don't know if that's what you're thinking, but
no,
that's like a city, maybe not.
I think Mexico recently did it.
I don't think it was Amsterdam.
Was it Iceland or who was it? Greenland or one of them things?
Who was?
I remember Iceland kicked out their government. The smartest thing they ever did. Yeah, and get out of here.
But I just think they should all be legal because in the beginning, I think a lot of the thing with all the drugs, I think a lot of people just do it because it's illegal. So I think if we ever did make that transition, sure, there would be a lot of people who would OD and fuck themselves up. And I hate to claim some survivalism bullshit, but honestly, after that, once it's all normal, pretty sure everybody would just be fine.
Yeah.
Like, because people would probably use it whatever they want. And it would just be a normal thing, so it wouldn't even be glorified the way it is. You know what I mean?
We're kids, man. We're kids. Everyone, I don't care how old you are, you're a child at heart.
Yeah.
That's why when someone tells you no, you can do the opposite.
Yeah, like, and if you want some, like, real shit, I mean, I'm sure they'd find something else, but, like, what would all the mafias do? Like, where would the money come from if they can't sell illegal shit? Would it go back to the old days and they sell protection?
Yeah.
I mean, but then I feel like if that's literally all they had to sell, I think then things like the government would really get angry because now that's almost just like money for no reason. Like, you're not even bringing nothing here. Like,
so then with that thought...
Your product is you won't fuck me up? Like, what the fuck? Like, it's not a good product at all.
With that thought actually making sense like that.
Yeah.
Who's the person in power then?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's actually in power that's making sure that doesn't happen?
Yeah. Oh man, the game's crazy, man. The game's crazy.
I mean, they say like don't hate the player, hate the game. I understand that. At the same time, we got to do better, man.
You can hate both. You can.
You're free to do whatever you want.
You can hate both.
Free to hate both.
I think what's fucked up is that like we, I mean, like, because the country, and it's made for all countries. Like, so sometimes we just don't even want to change the game, and that's what's fucked up. Fine, the game's fucked up, but it's like now that we're aware it's fucked up, we just gonna stalemate forever. Even chess got a time limit, man.
Oh, even Monopoly has to start over.
Yeah, you know.
Even Monopoly, you got to put the game up, and y'all got to all start over with 1,500 again.
Yeah, man.
How come when you started your life, myself included, y'all started your life? Who came around and gave y'all 1,500 to start the game of Monopoly so you could buy some property? Nobody.
Yeah.
They said, "Hey, there's money that's here at this table. People have already bought property. Fuck it. Good luck."
Yeah.
They gave you 0. Imagine, let's all start a brand new game of Monopoly with no money.
I ain't saying we need to go to 0. I just meant.
But Abraham's got hotels on Boardwalk already.
Yeah.
And everything, the railroad, the utility system, everything's already been bought. Go buy a space with no money.
I mean, there's no way on earth society is gonna go to 0. But what I'm trying to say is like the games can still change. They can still be changed, but they won't. But they can.
Because you got that one bully who's like, man, I got Boardwalk and Park Place. I ain't giving this shit up.
Yeah.
Let's start over. Or let's say if you're a newborn, which honestly it would work completely in the opposite direction because you'd have people having kids just to get $1,500 essentially, and you'd have this boom of really for all the wrong reasons to get that seed money or to get that start. Yeah. Like, man, if everyone were to just say, hey, look, either family wise or just societal wise, let's get rid of currency, bro. Let's get rid of the monopoly aspect of life. Let's get rid of the same color currency that's in the game. When they had the color bills, they matched them up to the same colors in Monopoly. It was crazy. That was one of the craziest mindfucks I ever had. How come this piece of paper has value as compared to this piece of paper that has no value? They're both pieces of paper with ink on them. What's the difference between this thing that says 10 and this thing that says 10? What's the fucking difference? It's a piece of paper. It came from a tree.
One is supposedly tied to gold, maybe that doesn't exist no more.
Right. Which in the headlines, the value of gold is almost dead. Like they're converting from using gold as their I guess mineral of value because that's a fucking rock.
Yeah.
It's from the dirt. That's from the ground, bro. Y'all pulled something from the ground and said it had value. This is no different than saying seashells were a form of currency. You guys got rocks and they're like, man, this has value, bro. I'm better than you because I got this shiny rock.
So, I mean, I know what you're talking about, but the stuff you're talking about, it's all bad ideas because it's all macro, right? Yeah. And what I mean by that is that because it's macro, like it's wide, so like it's not going to change. But I think, so yeah, life, this is oversimplifying incredibly complex subjects because one, everybody's life is different, right? So there's too much space for random. But at the end of the day, man, like the great poet Captain Planet, and I said this last time, once said, "The power is yours." You know, I was like
Alan Watts. The world is the way it is because of you.
Probably a better poet, right? But I mean,
like that's the same point. Actually exists. Same point.
But like to go back all the way, right? To go all the way to the MySpaces and the distractions and the Matrix. Honestly, dude, like. The power is in all of us to like, man, if we just focus on some shit.
Right.
And not just some shit, but whatever this shit is that we want to do, like, man, dude, like, we can change it. One, by changing our shit, we'll change it. Then it will change macro. But, like, we can just change our shit. And then that'll just fix everything. Because if everybody fixed their shit, then there's no broken shit to fix, you know? Right. Even if the game is, well, fuck the game, right? We don't really have to play the game. Just like you don't have to follow any of that shit, you know? We have to play the game to go back to the knowledge is power thing. We have to play the game because we were schooled to play the game. Yeah. So we think that's all there is. And sometimes we don't even figure out that, no, there's more to it than
right.
that. That's
You're too busy playing that game.
Yeah. But you don't have to. You can make your own game.
Right.
And that's the part that's not sold, you know?
Right.
Because it would be nice to save all these people and change it. But, I mean, like, that's such an insurmountable task. And... not to shit on charity, dude, but giving money to all these random organizations that I've never heard of, except when bad shit happens, that who the fuck knows where that money is going. I'm like, and I'll never hear about it once it's like 10 days later after the tragedy is done.
After the fact.
Yeah, you know, like, if we just all focused on fixing our shit, whatever our problem is, or like make just our little shit, not, oh, we gotta, you can't smoke weed, even though I have nothing to do with weed, or you can't, instead of like all this energy and problems that have nothing to do with us, you know, like, we would just fix our shit, everything would be fixed. But again, that's like an easier said, not gonna happen.
That's why I chose,
you know?
and like you said, if you chose to do it through you,
yeah,
that's where honestly that was my basis of choosing art, and choosing music to do it, and that's why my music and my albums will reflect that to the day. Because man, that's the only way I feel I can change this is through the art.
Yeah.
Like one of my major influences was like Mos Def, Andre 3000, you know, Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
Early Kanye, where they questioned the existence of these
early Kanye. He cut that off. He cut that off. Where is that Kanye line? Where's the Kanye line? Like in baseball, there's the Mendoza line. What is the Kanye line? Can you tell which album is the Kanye
like
line?
he lost me at 808s and Heartbreak.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, you started early. So like literally the pioneer of what ends up being today's hip hop, right?
Right.
Because he actually, it's funny whenever I do auto tingy singing, like I never was aiming for nowhere, but when I go back and hear it, I did hear that album. So I'm like, that's funny. Like I'm probably more 808 auto tuning, like where you're singing through these distorted things and not this reverb bullshit.
Artistically, or you know, if it was a painting, you know, if we're describing a Mona Lisa,
there's nothing wrong with any
there's
of
nothing wrong with it.
But
it
essentially,
cool.
where it's funny where hip hop is, I'm like, oh shit, he was there many years ago, you know?
Yeah, like, and even some of his lyrics right there, like that's the transition point. Where he was coming out of like, I'm making points about this human experience that we're all subject to having to deal with, to commercialism and love and money and clothing and, you know, just the bullshit, the extra bullshit.
He probably saw that sign outside of the Kardashians' house that said, must be this rich to ride. So,
well, like how we're talking about it, how we're talking about old Future and 6ix9ine and how these guys, they literally just only want to cater to that demographic that will allow them to make it. They're not willing to stick their neck out in an uncomfortable sense and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do like YR and I'm going to do some political, you know, conscious shit, because no one's going for that right now. They don't want to ingest that right now. The music that I made...
Beyond that, lyrics ain't even going for... No one going for that.
The music that I made back in 2012, bro, I released this year because in 2012, they sure as shit wasn't ready for that. Ain't nobody ready for that. They weren't ingesting that.
But are they ready for it now?
They got no choice. It's got no points where it's like, fuck it.
Threaten them.
Bro, no bullshit. I'm gonna force feed this shit down your throat with a tube if I have to. Like, there's a level of ignorance where they're choosing not to ingest it because they're so used to McDonald's.
How do you get them to hear your music?
They'd rather not eat salad.
How do you get them to hear your music?
By force.
No. But now I'm trying to get like actual answers now.
It's
not even the philosophy.
It's like this, being in the way.
But I'm just asking you, as you being a DIY artist, right? Yeah. And you know, we talked about Distro K last time, so now you're releasing your shit. Literally, how do you get people to notice you since you're you and you're not on the radio, TV, whatever, right? So
it's as simple as being out of sight, out of mind. If I'm out of sight, I'm out of mind. If I'm in your face and I'm there,
so how are you in their face? How are you in their face?
Day by day, bro. I'm working day by day. I mean, granted, I don't have the backing that you know,
I'm not even saying it's impossible. I'm just literally trying to understand.
Right.
Because I'm always...
It's money, man. It comes down to money. That's why I'm so discouraged by the way this world is set up. Because you have, in a sense, a righteous product that should be in the place of a 6ix9ine who, given the fact that he's got the financial backing or the interest of a record label or anybody, whoever is Angel...
ultimately... he's a very... anomaly thing, because I'm like,
right, but there's like a
I'm
little,
like, does he have a label,
like a little
or
Xan
does he
or
not?
Future? There's this whole there's more opiate users than, you know, in most cases than there are marijuana users.
Yeah.
In some sense, or if not, they're doing both. Yet you have people who are affected spiritually, people who are affected internally by this bullshit that's going on, that they seek out something that is resonating with their current frequency. So if you have music that is operating on this low frequency, people who are being forced to operate on this low frequency seek that out because that's the frequency they've been brought down to. If you choose to rise above that frequency, what are you going to seek out? This down here seems petty. That's why I don't listen to 6ix9ine. I don't listen to Future. As soon as I put on their music or as soon as I hear it, it doesn't hit me because it doesn't hit my frequency. I'm not down there. I don't need an antidepressant
Common
or a
said
depressant.
about the last Kanye album. He said, I heard it once. I laughed because I was like, wow, this is somebody who likes Kanye, like as a person. And I said the same thing to my friend, but Common said, I heard it once and I never want to hear that album again.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't speak to my heart.
The Life of Pablo?
No, the one that's new. Yay, it's called Yay. That's what it came out.
Oh, yeah. I haven't even listened to that.
I haven't even
You
listened to
good?
it.
You good? I only listened to it.
You good?
I listened to the one with Kid Cudi though.
Yeah. I
good?
only heard it because I was intrigued
gotta
by
worry about
the
it.
whole June 5 album thing, you know. So like, the only one. So it was weird. Like, you ain't missing shit.
Oh, you good? You didn't miss nothing?
Because what we doing with you know
Damn.
what? Because I notice it now. Like, y'all don't like a lot of people's music no more, but I end up hearing it out of respect because it's Kanye. Like, yo, June was mad disappointing month. Mad shit came out. Yo, Pusha T put some shit out. If we just go on the Kanye,
Yo,
thing,
Sci-Hi?
Pusha C. Oh, you know what? See, that's a guy who I don't know, but my homie told me like, yo, I'm fucking up, not
Sci-Hi
fucking with
the
that
Prince,
dude.
bro.
Yeah. He told me his shit is
beast.
real. He said like, if we were hearing shit the way we heard back then, like it'd be this guy.
Yeah.
But so I gotta give him some time at some point, yo.
But he signed to Kanye because Kanye's not stupid. He knows that he's got to cater to that demographic and this demographic.
Yeah,
He knows
yeah.
that he's got to cater to this frequency because he's got a gang of people and this frequency because he's got people like me.
Yeah.
You got to cater. Even Pusha T's kind of about right here with Sci-Hi as far as points being driven. But there's so many different frequencies. Our brains literally only operate on a frequency of what, 0 to 10 hertz, or at least 1 to 10, 1 to 12 maybe. That's why I laugh about people that do religion or they do prayers. If your brain literally operates between 0 to 10 hertz on a scale, and you go to pray, you tune into a certain frequency. Let's call it a 4.
Yeah.
Just to be wrong, because I don't know the exact frequency.
Yeah,
But let's
yeah.
say everyone tunes into channel 4 to pray. I don't care if I'm kneeling on a mat or on a pew or at home in bed or, you know, to the Quran. I don't care. As soon as you do this and you focus, our brains, because we're human, only tune into that frequency. What the fuck y'all doing? The same fucking thing. I don't care if I called it God or if I called it, you know, Judaism or whatever it is. If you go to pray,
Yeah.
you're all fundamentally doing the same thing. I don't
Do
care what title.
you meditate?
Yeah.
How do you meditate? Because there's like no right answer for this. That's why I like asking it. Because
There is
everybody
There is a right answer.
No.
This. Check this out.
But it
Check this
doesn't
out.
matter what you say because
Right.
there's like many people who do
Right.
many different meditations.
Everything's different.
It's not like,
True.
hey, do you work out? And everybody does the same workouts. You know what I mean?
There is a right answer though.
All right. But do you practice this right answer?
Yes.
Okay. So what is your meditation?
Everyone in their mind has inner dialogue.
Okay. Self-talk.
The same little mind, the same little voice that you hear that tells
Yeah.
you, hey, you know it's time to brush your teeth, or it's time to eat, or hey, you know what, that person is looking at you funny, or hey, you know what, something doesn't feel right, or hey, you know what, your clothes don't look right now, go change them, and you follow that voice. The practice of meditation is to silence your inner dialogue.
Turn off the self-dialogue.
That's the hardest thing you can ever do because
How
it's
do you
constant.
practice that?
First off, I used to smoke a lot of weed. that was my initial thing, which it kind of helps disconnect from that dialogue because you kind of knock it off its path. However, I had learned through practicing meditation or through and originally it was Kundalini yoga. I learned with a gentleman named Daniel and Adam.
I'm still trying to understand. Is Kundalini yoga? Is it an actual yoga or is it just the Kundalini part? Is it just the breathing?
It's breathing.
It's just the breathing part,
Breathing
right?
techniques.
Okay. And
Breath
it just
of fire.
happens to be yoga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which little did I know at the time, oxygen is like a high. When you overtake oxygen in your brain and you start producing more oxygen,
No, I'm a Wim Hof guy.
man, there's a blood rush.
You know what that is? Yeah or no or no? Wim Hof. You ever heard of him?
No.
Anyway, so he does this type of breathing, and so that's my main meditation right now. But supposedly that one even makes you, create the DMT or whatever up in there and shit. It's do over-oxidization or whatever.
Yes.
The fuck. Yeah.
So little did I know, or little do we know in a sense, because not everyone practices it. When you over-oxygenate your body or your mind, you produce that chemical in your brain, and you're able to really, because you're tricking your brain into being preoccupied. You're coming up with an activity for your brain to where your inner dialogue, it doesn't have a place to interject. So all of a sudden you find this medium where your inner dialogue hasn't said anything in a while because you're preoccupying your brain. It's focused on a goal. All of a sudden there's this moment of clarity where there is no inner dialogue. Then you feel it in your body, you feel it in your spirit, it kind of overtakes you, and you're just like, this exists. There's a void, in a sense, from what you're originally paying attention to, which is who liked my status on Facebook, and what does my mom think of me, and what do I think of myself, or what's for lunch. Like, once you silence all that, there's this moment of bliss that, since we're children, lasts a lifetime, and you can literally take something from that. And the more you practice it, the more opportunity you have to have that blissful moment. And the more blissful moments you have in life, as compared to the distractions you have in life, you kind of get to see things a little differently. You get to see that, man, you're right. Like, who's to say that person who's caught up in this drama or caught up in this way of life wouldn't do something malicious? Or, when's the last time that person meditated and silenced their inner dialogue and reconnected, in a sense? Like, you start questioning a little bit more. And you can start to see that when you question yourself, you love yourself, you can project that. So you can silence that inner dialogue even in the moment of someone ridiculing you or someone, judging you, and you silence that dialogue and just let things be. I've had people say, who are around me, traveling and other stuff, say, man, your spirit is so calm. Why is that? And it's like, man, I don't have all these things firing off in my brain. You can't see it because I'm not projecting it. If I'm calm and my center is where it needs to be, it spreads. Because you don't see it. There's a crown here. A lot of people believe like the chakra system. There's a electromagnetic field that goes from the top of our head and straight back into our bodies. It connects to the ground. There's a theory that it's about like 15 feet off your body.
There's a guy, I think Dr. Joe Dispenza or whatever. And he was speaking a lot. I think he might be a neuroscientist, but he was speaking a lot about. I just wanted to hear him because he started talking about this power of the mind shit. But then I started hearing more shit, and he can borderline get into some like he does. It's not a religion, but it can borderline like seem like it's real. But anyway, he was talking about basically power of love shit, through these mind thoughts and how the mind creates the thoughts and creates everything. And he was speaking about that electromagnetic field, how like it can almost like increase like as you meet those people on the right frequencies, and like create all kinds of shit that I really wasn't understanding. Because it's kind of beyond the normal thought. So right. I'm like open to it, but always skeptical at the same time. You know what I mean?
Which is great because you should question. That's why even when I heard the theory, I was like, really, like that exists.
Because it's very anti the norm.
Right. Then you get situations like this where, giving our proximity, my electromagnetic force is in the realm of his, is in the realm of yours. That's why we're able to have these type of conversations, open up these type of dialogues. We're interconnected. We're not even touching each other. We don't have to. That's why, like, when you get close to somebody, you could pick up on their vibe because that exists. It's touching yours.
And this is why the great poet Kendrick once said, "Bitch, don't kill my vibe."
Can't kill it. Because if you come close to it, you know what I mean? You can literally feel that, and it can literally affect your being. Yeah. Like, if you came in today upset or something, you know what I mean? I'd be able to feel it because of our proximity, or at least in the dialogue, it would come out.
I did that. I hopefully it was very nice, but I'm also kind of like truthful, so I just wasn't in the best mood. But I did that when I had a podcast with Amia.
Oh, really? So I love Amia, bro.
She's great, but she could tell like right away, man. Like I let whatever happened to me that day affected me, And once we started, it's all gravy and shit. Yeah. But definitely, like when I was setting up, I just be wearing that shit.
Yeah. And that's something I learned like through theater. It's like check your emotions at the door. If not, it'll show on stage, and it'll show through your being that this stuff is affecting you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's weighing down on your being, your bills, or the fact that you got to show up to court in a couple of days, or the fact that you're going through a breakup, or this person in your past affected you in such a way that it's literally still bringing your frequency down just that little bit. It's hard, bro. It's hard. But with meditation or other practices, you can overcome that. You can overcome that material connection, because really it's material. Because even if you were to fall in love with that person and y'all both lived to the day you died, y'all couldn't take each other with you, with the other. You know what I mean? Your spirits or your bodies would go back to wherever it came from.
Normally at the end of these, I do like these life questions and shit, right? Ooh. But I want to get some, because I noticed the way we vibing, like, all right, we could just keep doing this forever.
For real.
But I want to get some. One, I want to get those done, but two, I want you to. What is, because you said you made that shit in 2012 and you just putting that shit out now. So like what is, and we had this discussion even through the distro kid when we were first talking about it. What makes you release as you release versus, like, let's say even maybe because I do so much, I don't get to shit out music. But technically, if we count everything I do, I just shit out stuff. So what makes you not play like the game today and be making it rain in front in terms of content versus like you're still playing like this release and like you, to quote Usher, I'm gonna take it nice and slow, It's timing. Yeah. I'm a rhythm player. I learned that through music, through mariachi and stuff. Yeah. Rhythm and timing is everything. When I made Hawaii back in 2012, I actually left to Colorado to go experience a life-changing, occurrence. I can't call it an experience, but I still felt it. But I left the track in his hands, and he took it and ran. Like, there's parts in there that, like, I can't say were my idea. You know what I mean? It came from Dru. So, like, the timing of it, it's more that I have to pay attention to, like, the progression or the digression of the market. And it's chess. I'm a chess player. So, I mean, like when Drake came out, everybody was banging Drake. Oh man, myself included. You know what I mean? Everybody's banging that. Man, I couldn't come out with that at that time. You got somebody who's taking all the sound space. There's no room to squeeze through. But there's always someone who wants not Drake too. Right. I heard that album once and I thought the same thing. I never want to hear that shit again. Yeah, so you literally let the market grow tired. Yeah. Until they started looking for Rich the Kid, and they started looking for, Gunna, and they started looking for Sci-Hi, and they started looking for, Mos Def started getting a little bit more, notoriety, or not necessarily, but a little bit more light. To where you get these people who, they ingest this crap, and after ingesting it, like, yeah, it's like McDonald's, but even I got tired of McDonald's. I stopped going to McDonald's back in 2012. It's like, man, I ain't gonna eat that. I'm not gonna put it in my system. Same thing for this type of music, your 6ix9ines and your other shit. You're going to get tired of it. And you're going to put it down. You're going to want something else. That's where I come in. I mean, yeah, I don't have the type of backing if I were to be signed with, Rockefeller, whoever it is. I get that, but what makes you... Sony. So what game are you playing then? You said timing. What game are you playing then? I got to play my own, bro. I got to just, like, listen in. A lot of it is internal timing, an internal clock. Okay. Because maybe a week ago I wasn't ready to let that out, or a month ago I didn't have that song that drove it home. When like, really, Why Are You Here? When I came out with that, when did I make that song? This year, right? Yeah, that was this year. I made that song this year, these months, and used songs that I had made in the years past to complement it. Why couldn't I release those songs in the past yet? Because there was nothing to bring them together. What makes you, I guess, what makes you still cling to an album type format versus singles? Oh man, I got 2 singles out. 2 singles. The first album I dropped was an EP. But you just said you needed that album. One song to complement them. But who's to say you couldn't have just put them out as songs? I don't think they would have made sense to someone as a single body work. One has to exist in order for the other to exist, and that was cool, or at least the initial results, almost like a litmus test. When I started putting this stuff out, I found that with a 5-track EP, which kind of reflects of an album in some sense. Yeah.
a 5-track EP, I found a certain demographic loved the last track on the album. A certain demographic loved, like the political demographic, right? People who I know that are like, you know, they'll work the polls or they're influenced with, you know, politics. They loved one of the first songs on the album, which was heavily politically influenced. The old hip hop heads love Honest Mistake because of that hip hop feel. You know what I mean? So if I had put out this single and this single and this single and this single and staggered them,
I feel like they would have judged you off of that, though.
that would have been my body of work. So you give them a plethora, you give them an array of what you're capable of doing in one shot. It's like a buffet. It's like, man, I want to come back because he had steak and he had lamb and he had spaghetti and he also had Italian and he also had Mexican food and he also had, you know what I mean? There's a variety to choose from. If I had put out just one, like, yeah, you pick it up one day, like, I put it down. Maybe that next single you saw because of that one single over here, you're like, I'm not even gonna pick that one up. So when you pick up that one body of work and it gives you something to like, you'll cling on to it. And more than like you're more than likely to open up the next package that comes through.
All right.
Comes down the pipeline.
What I know you said you make beats, but so is your album gonna be instrumentals or?
Yeah, it's just gonna be straight instrumentals.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So like similar
Just
to him.
something so they could listen to.
So similar to. Do you have anything out yet currently or no?
Only with
No,
along
but
with
you.
him.
I meant like
Oh,
I guess for you.
Me myself, no. That's what we're
So
pushing for.
like, well, I guess similar to him, like, I guess how come? Like, is my question.
How come?
Yeah. How come there's nothing else? I guess he doesn't know either. I guess
We are
Well, I
pins and
guess it's
needles.
just a waiting process right now. Like I have somebody doing graphics right now, so
yeah.
I'm waiting on that. And he was telling me that I can't move forward until really I have that really in state of mind.
Yeah, that's just part of the steps.
Initially, the longest part was choosing the name for it. I would say that's where I had my hardest title in the album.
That nigga had like 40 or 50 to choose from.
Yeah, especially since I had initially like 14, and he told me to chop it down to like at least 7. So I was like, all right. So picking out of those 14 to pick 7 to show everyone was kind of hard too.
What'd you come up with though total?
7.
It was 7?
Yeah,
Oh,
7 or
I thought it was 10.
8.
So like, is the main thing you do? You make beats for other people, and then you'll do an album on the side, or are you trying to be the artist first, and then you just happen to make beats for other people?
Initially both. I mean, I'm not gonna rap. I'm not gonna do. I just want to do the production.
Well, no, but I
side.
mean, you can still be the artist, like the same way, like let's say like Alchemist, right? He got his beat albums and stuff, but he's primarily like I make beats for other people first.
Yeah, I
But
would
then
say-
there was people like
I would say I would want to make beats for other people.
okay, but like as the priority,
Yeah.
okay, or like see RJD2 would be like the reverse. Like people know him for his beat albums, and then every now and then he'll make a beat for someone else, you know. So that's what I was asking. Like, which one are you aiming for?
I would say to make beats for other people.
I got you.
See, from an outside perspective, I would have thought the opposite. I would have thought you would made them for yourself first. You know what I mean? Like initially, but yeah, if that's the real answer, shit, that's dope.
He's like, I'm gonna have beats forever.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
like,
initially, I mean, they're there. I mean, he can use them whenever he wants. He's just gotta let me know. Like,
Yeah, and that was important to me, man.
he
was
knows what it is.
setting it up, like, cause I love his music, bro. Like, I would hate to see any of our work go by the wayside. So, the process to make it legitimate, creating the BMIs and creating the the DistroKid connections and getting your own distribution done, like that was more important to me than having someone hear my music a week before it should have. You know what I mean?
all right, so yeah, let's go into that. You said the ASCAP and BMI. So, what does that mean? So you got you and your whole team on that. Like I think you made a post about it like today or yesterday.
Yeah.
So what does that mean exactly?
Well, in this day and age right now, or at least in this modern world we're living in, you kind of have to have this stuff in place. If not, people can steal your shit, take advantage of it, use it, maybe make profit off it themselves. So in a sense, you have to protect your work. And that to me meant every penny that I could ever invest in this. Because I mean, none of this is free, bro. Like this took years of adding and building and spending and really believing in the goal in order to invest your money into it. And even when it came to setting up, BMI and, DistroKid accounts and making sure these guys got protected with their own rights, from artists to producers, anyone that comes in here, like I now that really I learned it from you, I credit you like nobody's business, bro. Like the reason why you hear me on iTunes and Spotify was Boosh man himself. You know what I'm saying? Like he literally came into this room, sat down, was like, "How come your music isn't everywhere?" And I was like, "Shit, bro, I don't know."
I was remembering that day.
Down the line, it's because of you that I have my.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, for real, bro. By association, you damn right.
See, I don't even. I don't. There's a. I was hoping. I'm like struggling with this. I'm trying to not come off like an asshole, but like I just remember like there's a girl. The girl you just we talked about before, Myers, right? That girl. They said you liked her thing, right? So I think when she first heard of me, she was like, "Man, that's cool that you do all this stuff," and I like made it real clear, like right away, like. But I hopefully didn't come off like an asshole, and she doesn't think I'm an asshole, but I think. But I mean, but I was like, I'm very happy that like anything I do, because a lot of stuff I do just happens to feature other people, and even stuff like that, like just talking to you about that, like, cause I enjoy doing that, but it was just like I almost do that shit for me, cause I enjoy doing that, and I'm happy that that it helps people and all that, but it's like I wasn't even trying to do that. Like I'm not even trying, and that's probably at least in my head. Maybe subconsciously it is, but at least at my forefront, like I'm never even trying to help people.
And that could
it just so happens to be that like I enjoy doing things, and a lot of my stuff features everybody else, so everybody else kind of gets like promoted or whatever, or like you got helped by that, and I'm happy. I'm not anti helping people either, but it's like that's like not ever my goal ever,
And not to be disrespectful in any way, but it's almost like a form of a savant. Where you have this genius who's just, they're being themselves. And they operate on their own frequency, and it just so happens that they affect
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
Yeah, like.
That's going to be a clip right there. Bushman's a savant.
They affected, bro. Like, I think people are way too afraid to slap that title on each other because no one wants to give each other credit till after you're dead.
You're right. Yo, Noriega, who you probably know, right? Capone Noriega, CNN? Yeah, so... he always says on his Drink Champs podcast, like, yo, we gotta start giving flowers to people while they alive, not when they dead, yo, because they can't do shit with them when they dead,
Master P was on film saying that shit. Give people their flowers while they're here.
Yeah.
After I think, who was it that passed? Was it homeboy from Run DMC or?
I know what Prodigy he got.
Prodigy. It was Prodigy. It was Prodigy. Yeah. Damn right. It was Prodigy. He's like, man, we got to give people their flowers while they're alive, man.
Because he saw what happened on BET. That's why. That's why he saw it.
Yeah, you see all these people coming out of the woodwork and being like,
like, where were
basking
you?
in the glory. It's like, hold up, like, why didn't y'all give him credit where it was due when he was here? Like, and it's like that, like giving you your credit. The fact that, like, really, if not for you, we don't have our stuff on iTunes and Spotify and in this time frame. You know what I mean?
That's what's up. Like, cause sometimes I'm happy to take that. Thank you. Right. But like I every now and then, dude, I see the posts. We don't always talk all the time. But every time I see the posts and I'm like, that's what's up, man. This guy's doing stuff with the studio. Yeah. So I'm always watching on the far, like,
and that's a beauty of it, man. Like we end up getting wrapped in our own little minds and our worlds. It's I don't ever think anybody's watching. Yeah. Like when we got the award for being one of the top studios in the city, it's like, man, I didn't submit for that. Like.
That was my first question.
Who the hell did that?
I was like, well, how did they find us?
I was gonna, what is that? Yeah, like what?
The Current, a local publication, just came out with the best of poll, which is like a popularity contest.
This might be the first, only, maybe last time the Current is spoken about positively on this podcast.
Yeah, man. If we're sticking with the culture, it's fucking Current. But you got to give them credit. Like they helped shed light and really, in a sense, legitimize an operation, because without that, I mean, that's just one less talking point that I have on myself. Like,
that's what's up.
With that talking point, I've had people literally be like, oh, well then let's do business.
That's what's up.
Because if they said you're worth a fuck,
I
think you're worth a fuck. And it's discouraging in a sense, because fuck, if not for these people saying that,
gatekeepers, you
don't have that type of break. But bro,
at the same time, you
I've
got
been
it.
doing this. This is what we do.
And you got it because of other shit. You didn't get it because you had that. It's all that other shit that led to that.
The other body work. But
Great coach Greg Popovich, man. He has that shit in the thing in like 40 languages, right? It ain't the 100th stone or tap on the stone that breaks is 99 before, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's keeping that pipeline fed, keep plugging, and really not allowing any outside influence to discourage what's going on. Like, you have to be willing to push yourself and believe in yourself, even if your folks don't believe in you, bro. All of a sudden, I found the other day, I get in my dad's truck, and my pops is banging Yes Not We Say, and turned that thing up, bro, so the speakers was damn shaking the windows. I was like, yo.
Even his face was like,
yeah. Nah, bro, I was like, you're listening, bro? Like, you listen. He's like, you know what, Rich? I've shown this, your work to people, but he's like, you know how I make CDs for everybody? My pops would just make CDs and just give it to you. He's like, I'm not making any copies of your CD. I'm telling them where they can buy it.
Damn.
I was like, what? Like, yo, that means he likes what he's hearing. You know what I mean? He likes the product and he's supporting it. I mean,
even back then though, when we had the studio over there, like they'd hear the stuff and they were like, man, this is different than what we're hearing on the radio.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, bro.
Actually, here I got this. This is an important question. I like to ask hip hop people in San Antonio, and then I'll get into the life questions. This always puzzled me, and when I first started playing music live here in San Antonio, it was the beat battles, run by Mark Gonzalez, right?
Bro, I did one of those trash ass things. That's sad.
Yeah, but that helped me. They ended our relationship.
I didn't do a beat battle. I did the verse.
Our relationship didn't end the best because like
the track battles.
Because then the politics started happening and stuff. Yeah, track battles was the one for the rappers.
I did one of those. Ended up 4th place. And who were the first, second, and third? Everybody who was by the DJ booth. Who's
number one? Was that guy? I can't remember that dude's name. He's fucking most cocky, arrogant person.
What was there?
I can't remember. I really can't. I'd have to look it up.
It was at the paint yard.
I was hoping you would know because it should be
it.
really easy.
Josiah took that one.
Is that his hip hop name or no? Because I would
Amaze.
know what it means. No, I know Amaze, but
Nah, he moved to Seattle, but
really,
at least in that occurrence, he was the one that took it that time. But it was Josiah was the MC that night. It's not that his music was good.
Yeah.
It was, and not to knock his work, but it's not that
the homies.
It was great, but all the homies took 1, 2, 3, and they gave me 4th, and I was like, bro, to me, I won that bitch because I was the only outsider who took right under all your boys, and to me, that was just like, hey, you know what? I'm never fucking with y'all again. That's all it was, which is sad.
Real. Yeah.
Right, it's sad because had y'all guys been running your operation the way you say that you are, all the way up to the Art of War, I ended up learning all the background of all these cats. Like, I'm not afraid to call you on your bullshit, bro. Like, you're bullshitting. You're not out here to really see the best shine. You're out here to make sure that you shine. And if you don't have those intentions of actually being that platform to where you propel people and you project people out into their futures that they're supposed to be in, you ain't doing nothing.
I think a lot of people have really tough time balancing the conflict of interest of hosting or venting, whatever thing it might be, product, TV show, whatever, but then also being a participant themselves. A lot of people have a tough time. There's probably people I get on here probably don't even know I do music, or whatever intro, outro song of these is even music, because most people, they can't separate that shit,
right.
Like, I don't know, but
that's political interest though.
Yeah, no, you're right, because they don't want to give up the dream.
If it's happening at that small little spectrum, because really, that doesn't affect my success or anything. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Whether I took first or last, like that wouldn't determine my trajectory.
Yeah.
What's to say that that's not the same case at the highest of levels, where it's about who you know, not who you are.
Man, I feel like, and I don't want to keep going on this because I still want to ask the question I wanted to ask, but you can almost argue that that's everything, unfortunately. Because even I'd say that for the hip hop game, the hip hop game, the macro level, like even Drake, right? You saw him with Pusha T, right? When the homie from Houston had to step in there, like, y'all wilding right now, y'all damaging my income. Chill the fuck out with these diss records, like that shit that made me sad right there, like, man, this whole shit is just rigged bullshit.
And low key, that's why I'm really not a fan of Drake as far as his body of work is
most hip hop people are known like Dre. I always end up defending him.
You got this cat. You got this cat from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
Who came down, Lil Wayne, as soon as he finished, and no bullshit, I loved, what was it, Thank Me Later? Or whatever that first body of work he did. Yeah. I love that album, bro. I went to college on that shit.
Yeah.
Ran that damn CD to it. Didn't play no more. You had, once he got his opportunity, Wayne brought him down to Houston, and he met Bun B and Pimp C right before Pimp C passed. If Pimp C was still alive, you don't have a Drake. Pimp C dies, there's a gap. He feels it. Now, did he fill it with the Toronto sound? Nah. You filled it with a Houston, Texas sound. You filled it with a Southern accent from down here that was popping and still is, because even Big Crit flourished off of that.
Culture vulture.
Culture vulture, bro. I will call you on it every single day because you're not from Texas, bro. Why do you sound Southern?
Oh, man.
Why you have a Southern draw on your
Or what about the Views album with the Caribbean, Jamaican stuff? Or what about now where he's doing the grime stuff?
Right. That's where you start going international. But where's your body of work? Where's your foundation?
Yeah.
You started from our sound.
No, but I'm just saying from outside looking, it looked like he just be... It looks like a pop star, and that's what pop stars kind of do, but they just take this stuff.
Thank you. Like, anyone that comes up and says, like, oh, he's my favorite hip-hop rapper. No, dude, that's a misclassification. He's your favorite pop star.
Yeah.
Don't misappropriate what's going on. He is your favorite pop star. He is a pop idol or a pop icon. All the same as, you know, Britney Spears or Justin Timberlake.
But
even Justin Timberlake came on the hip hop side for a little bit and made some money by himself.
So we're talking about knowing people though, like that's how he got to where he is in terms of level of where he is. But this is where it comes to like priorities and shit. Like, do you want to make music your living, or it's just totally possible, or do you want to be quote unquote the GOAT, you know, like because some people would say he's top right now, or like the king. Do you want to be that? Because then
top of what, the market?
Yeah, because
not
then that yeah, but no one cares about that. But now more than ever, in terms of the macro market, no one cares about that because it's all about.
Well, yeah, you got those same people.
But the only reason I say that,
determine greatness.
Like, yeah, but the only reason I say those things is because you can still be quite successful, yo. Because you know who's hip hop's funny beast, yo. I have not met many hip hop people, and me coming from Bronx, a lot of black people who listen to Hopsin.
Right.
Many people, and this is a man who's a millionaire.
Yeah.
So, and last time I checked, he raps. You know, like, yeah. So I'm just saying, like, you can still be quite successful, even though like most people probably don't know who the fuck that dude is. You know what I mean? But if his goal was like, hey, I want to be Drake, well then, like, you know, like I probably talked about Russ a lot when we was talking about DistroKid. You know, this is a man who clearly has gone on his record like, yeah, I am going after Drake. So he is finally, after being independent for so long, I am gonna go to Columbia, and I am gonna try little by little to play more again. You know, I did one album with no features, but he's already warned everybody. Wait till album 2, man. I got Snoop Dogg and friends coming on my shit.
Yeah.
And now he got Scott Storch. You know, so he's getting ready. He's building his little army to like. I do want to be mainstream guy, number one, and I understand that like I can't do whatever I want, so I'm gonna play the game. I'll try to play the game like my way, but I'm still play the game, you know. So he's slowly going more and more into that, but he has different career. He's made it clear, like, yeah, I do want that number one honcho shit. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like I think some people only see the Drake and they're like, man, it's the only way to make a living, you know, and then they get like fucked up on their path and shit.
I'm not necessarily a fan of Russ. Like, I don't know why.
I respect the story, but he still has some good tracks. Because I probably know him only because of the story, and that's what probably even made me listen to his music. Yeah. And now I notice I don't listen to it anymore.
Yeah, but, that's what I mean. Like I heard it, production was solid. There was some frequencies in there where either they just go flat,
even on the Columbia album,
a little tone deaf for a second, and it's like you're kind of losing me. It's,
when you do that shit much,
call it preference, but yeah. You know, like if I close my nose and started singing, like he hits those kind of notes.
Yeah.
And after a while, it's like I don't know, I just like it doesn't vibe, or just I can't dig it because I don't like those. I mean,
it's nice because I don't want shit on him. I don't want shit on him too because he's I mean, like, because like I said, I appreciate the hard work and the story and everything, but I do hear him, and at best, I'm like, all right, man, he's a normal MC.
Yeah.
Which I guess at this point he's a top tier MC, right? Where the bar is today, right? Like based on the fact that he actually raps and does lyrics right now, for the level he's at, actually he's probably a top tier MC, you know. But anyway, but like like
the bar has
from like where we come from, he's probably like just an average dude.
Yeah. And he is. No, you look at his story, like he is, man. It's just I'm not a fan of his music.
But
like,
he wanted to do it, and he had to drive so much that he.
It's not like I wouldn't cut an album with him. Like,
yeah.
I'd be down to help him out. I'd be down to be like, hey man, check out this major 7 chord, or check out like this, another flavor that you could present your people rather than just being, minor major and let me do a flat here and a flat fifth or something like that. Like, I don't know, just. But interval wise, he could do better.
He's probably gonna get more and more as you start to see him more famous, because now he's gonna be doing less, and he's probably just gonna focus on rapping. So I think you're gonna see all of that come later now.
Which if he has someone like, I'm blessed, bro. If he has someone like a Dru to come in with production like that, or to come in with like an objective position, then yeah, man, he'll have that opportunity.
Yeah. Where
someone else will complement that, and it'll actually make sense.
But I was just saying, like, there's many ways to your kingdom, to get there. It doesn't have to be this like path, because like some of those paths, the only thing appealing about like the Drake path and stuff is that, well, I would probably be rich, like but I don't necessarily want to do all that music, like that he's doing, you know what I mean?
Right.
But here's the actual question I even wanted to ask.
What?
I noticed that those beat battles, and then from there on meeting all those other guys, like you mentioned, some of the names you said, and it's just like, me living now in Houston or San Antonio, it's only 3 hours away from Houston. Why are there so many people here that have even like your sound, the East Coast sound, like especially in 2018, but any of the 2000s, because that sound is not macro at all right now. That sound is dead in terms of like we want to make it money, hip hop.
Right.
So like, how does that prevail? Because I feel like there's a lot of
it's fundamental.
Like, how did that happen in San Antonio?
It's fundamental. Like those people that actually carry that vibe.
Yeah.
Like they did their homework.
Like from production, like Jay Notic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How?
They know who a Ninth Wonder is.
Yeah.
And they know who, like other producers who are the fundamentalists, bro. Like the originators
I'm just always shocked.
Style,
we in the South
of a subgenre.
We're 3 hours away from Houston. Like, how did all y'all happened? How did y'all happen?
I learned that through mariachi.
Yeah.
The state of Jalisco is responsible for sones. Why is it that a group in California sounds like they're from Jalisco? Same thing. Like it's a flavor, and boom bap is the greatest way to describe it. It's like it's a certain style where it was a fundamental taste that has evolved since, thanks to pop and thanks to other influences, rock and all this other other influences that have changed it. That's why there's such thing as hip hop now, not just hip hop, but pop rap or hip pop. Like there's these subgenres that it has remnants of, like why does a Miley Cyrus track have traps, hi-hats in it?
Oh man, that shit.
Why does certain tracks have 808s in it? Country songs dropping 808s. Like you're stealing from a genre.
I think there's no difference between country music and hip hop. I say this a lot too, because it's just slang. If we want to keep it easy, it's just slang for black people, slang for white people, right? My case in point.
That's
is,
beautiful.
Girl, you look good. Won't you back that ass up?
Right.
That honky tonk, badonkey donk. What is the difference between any of these two songs?
Yeah.
It's just white people hip hop, black people hip hop. Like, to keep it simple, you know what I mean? Like,
blues.
It's the same fucking topics. Either way, don't matter what song we pick, I'ma still, that girl got a big ass.
Yeah.
That girl got
fundamentals, bro. It's like religion. Y'all are talking about the same shit. Y'all present it in different ways, and you say that, mine is God and mine is Allah.
Yeah.
But y'all are doing the same shit.
It is the same thing.
You're worshiping, or you're rapping about the same shit. You're idolizing the same topic, the same fundamental issue. So what if your name's Tim McGraw and your name's Master P or Birdman or whatever?
Like Timbaland just produced like 3 country tracks for like an actual country artist. I can't remember, his name escapes me. He's kind of like a big famous deal. Not like the albums, but just 3 songs on albums or some shit. So like, And you know what? If I ain't read that first, I would have never known. Because they sound like country, like dead ass, like country shit, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Timberland.
Yeah. Our Timberland. Yeah, from our world, yeah.
I didn't look at that.
We can look at we can play those songs. You would never know if I didn't tell you. Like, hearing it, the only thing I could think is, like, he must have helped him. I think because I tell you, you can look for it, but you would never hear those things. You know,
right.
You'd be like, oh, okay, there's percussion here and maybe songwriting. You know, like, but you would never hear it. If you were just to hear that album, you would never hear Timberland in that shit.
Right.
They just chameleon in that shit.
What's kind of crazy is, like, a few of the tracks that I've had people come up to me and be like, man, you sound black. Like, you don't sound like how you look.
Musically or your voice?
Like, I guess appearance-wise, but, like...
appearance-wise? Wait, how can you sound black appearance-wise?
Bro.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I have literally...
Like, oh, shit, nice to meet you, Rich. You sound black?
Yes.
But wait, but if I'm looking at you, how can you sound black? I don't understand.
When the Corova was still open.
If I heard your album and I didn't see you, I understand. I thought Eminem was black because I just assumed everybody was black.
Right.
You know, like, back then. But I mean, like, I didn't see him. I didn't see him and think, you sound black.
I thought, honestly, I thought Talib Kweli was white. Because he doesn't sound black to me.
Damn, you know, I could see, hearing the timbre of his voice in my head right now. I
Right?
could see it. Right. But again, like, maybe because
you already saw his face.
No. But just I assume everyone's black. I just assume, this is why Eminem, like, cause like, so I knew about Eminem like 6 months before.
Oh, you rap?
Yeah, black. Yeah, I know Eminem. So like Stretch Armstrong, you know, Stretch on Bobito, yeah. Right? So Stretch Armstrong had a show in Hot 97. Yeah. 11 p.m. on Sunday nights. He played all this underground music, right? Word. And one of those songs was My Name Is by Slim Shady, right? But that was before MTV and everybody got it, right? It was just part of his rotation, right?
Oh shit.
So
before everybody.
Yeah. So I heard it and I would jam it on my tape. Like, I just record the shows and make my own mixtapes and stuff. But because I never knew his name, period, till it comes out on MTV, because he would just never say the name. He would just play the track. So to me, he was just another black rapper. So because everybody's black, that's just it. Everybody's black. I'm pretty sure. First time I heard Big Pun, he's Puerto Rican, Bronx. He is me, essentially. I wouldn't be surprised if I was. Oh, you're not black? Who knew? You know, till I saw him. Like, true. Like, oh, you're big. That makes sense. Your name is big. Everybody's black and skinny. That's just it. Because that just fits my prototype.
Fat Joe too?
Yeah, black and skinny. Everybody's black and skinny. But then you see them and you're like, oh, well, now Fat Joe is he's skinny, but he's still black. Still black.
Sounds black. Yeah, I remember coming off the stage, bro, when the Corova was still open. Yeah. And I had done this freestyle, and these two black girls come up to me, bro, and they were like if they'd seen an alien. Yeah. Like, oh my God, like looking me up and down and shit, like
my people
touching me, and they're like, "You're not black."
My people in New York.
You sound black. I was like,
my people in New York, when they heard Tommy Wong. I mean, not when they heard him, when they saw Tommy Wong. Because when they heard him, it was like, this kid's nice. When they saw Tommy Wong.
Tommy, get your ass back out here, boy. For real. Come on.
I'm going to cut that and tag him in it, too.
Tommy. Let's cut a track, Tommy. For real.
But, yo, when they saw him, they were like, that's Tommy Wong, you know? Like, even though his name says Wong.
Yeah, no, Tommy's bad, bro.
But they just assume he's black. That's just what we do over there. Everybody's black.
That's like Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? You can't... Yeah. Tommy Wong, like, it's like a Wu-Tang effect. Like, it could have been a cultural thing.
It's like the 85th member of the Wu-Tang Clan. I get it.
Yeah. Like,
I get it.
Which almost, he damn near sounds like it. You know
There's an actual Wu-Tang movie called Old Dirty Bastard. So, like, which I was like, fuck, even that's just street shit, ODB. Like, even that's Wu-Tang.
Yeah, man. Nah, Tommy, come on, bro. I'm a big fan.
Right. I love it. Let's get these life things and we can wrap.
Oh, yeah, let's do this.
So, I actually added one and maybe even two. I'll do that last.
You gotta ask us both though, cause
no, they are for both. My man was mad silent. I'll let you be mad silent, yo.
He's always mad silent, bro.
Because I figured that was your thing, and I was like, look, man, like, cause the homie's talking a lot, and I've done enough of these where I could silence myself too. So there was some points where I want to say some shit, but I'm like, yo, my man's on it right now. Let me let him go. But
no, man.
But for these,
He's
not for these.
He's still trapped. So if you can get a long answer out of him, I'm gonna be like,
oh shit. What is one thing people think you're crazy for believing? Like, what do you believe, but people think you're crazy for believing?
I cannot think of anything right now, dude.
What was the question again?
What is one thing you believe, but people think you're crazy for believing? I could totally see everything you said during the conspiracy part.
If you watch the rest of this interview.
Yeah. What about you, Rich, while he's thinking?
I'd have to say the fact that we could phase out the existence of currency and everybody live pretty much like you live doing your purpose. If you like picking up trash, go fucking pick up trash. If you like cooking, go cook. Be a cook.
Some people believe that, and this might not be during our lifetime, that universal income will enable that.
What's the basis of that?
Because the idea of automation, right, making all jobs irrelevant or not needed because automation can do it better. So, well, if there's no jobs for human beings, then at the very least we give them a universal income to at least here's your starting point, you know?
That's what I was talking about, the monopoly thing.
Yeah. But this would be it's universal income enough to survive. Not to be rich, but to survive. And
to start.
This is where your human creativity comes from if you want to be rich. You know, now you need to come up with a
I'm going to go crazier, and this is why I think people call me crazy for this.
Yeah.
Imagine everything at your local supermarket is completely accessible, free. You pull it off. You want a carton of milk, you go get it. But you don't get 15 of them shits. You don't go over there and pull 50 bags of chips because you can. You pull what you need. And you use it, you come back, you get more, you pull what you need. There's a certain form of a responsibility that in this day and age, we're not taught that. Because you have to go out and get more, and you have to get more money, and you have to get more, and you have to get more, and you have to have more than the other person. I have to have more than him, and I have to have more than you, because greed is a thing. It's like the structure.
Gas, the whole gas thing.
Yeah, that whole like, there's gonna be less gas, so you need to go get your gas right now, and everyone took off and was like, caused a big old panic. They were selling water, cases for $30 at the corner store because it's raining, and you better go get that. Bro,
it's because of you that there is no gas.
Exactly. like if you're able to just take what you need while you have it, there's not gonna be any money to worry about. Everyone's gonna live fine. You do your purpose, your potential. If you like reading the news, go talk to the news station. You're gonna be on the news. If you like sewing, sew for a living. Just do you to that full potential, and just know that you can go get what you need and bring it back. And if you need more, it's right there. Go back and get it. You don't have to be hoardful or you don't have to have that psychological, misconception that like I need more. Like, no, dude, take what you literally only need. Don't take with excess. And we could literally live.
It's almost a different way of
harmony.
saying what you were talking about, getting rid of the distractions.
Yeah.
Because I at this point, I haven't done it yet, but like I want to sell almost all my stuff except for what I used to create. Because it's like I don't need any of these things. I would like to have them. Maybe one day if I'm rich, maybe I'll get some of them again. But it's like I don't need them. Like even shit like that CD collection. I probably have so many that I've made that I've gotten through all the years. Just like your dad has records, but it's just like they're just sitting here at this point. Like they're not serving me anymore. Like so.
Crazy.
Do you have one, man? That might be the only question like I could let you skate on. And that's me being a punk.
Nah, don't let him skate.
Yeah. I'm just saying though, but he's being silent, so like
he hasn't skated in years.
Yeah.
Change the whole education thing, like how it's taught, you know what I mean? What you're learning instead of the way it is right now.
All right. I'll let that be it. If you were rich, how would you live your life?
I don't think I would be a big spender. I would think I would just try to keep it.
I just added that question like a few hours ago, so I'm going to keep reworking how I asked that. But like, I guess if you were rich, what would you do? What would you be doing like with your life?
With my life or
my
money?
Whatever, yeah. Like,
I would say I would want to like kind of do like the whole teaching kids kind of thing, put it towards that, you know what I mean? Try to make music accessible to like younger minds, you know what I mean? It's kind of like how you're teaching Aiden, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's an outlet, you know what I mean? Like, And if you have a bunch of kids who are willing to learn, you know what I mean? Why cut them short?
So if you were rich, you would go around like teaching kids like music and stuff?
Yeah, even if you can even open up a little school for, something like that. At least to make an impact in the community somehow. If anything, I would want to give back because I know where I came from. It was, it's a hard place.
Were you from here or somewhere else?
No, from here, from the west side of San Antonio. So it's kind of like I went through a lot growing up. So, I didn't have access to a lot of things, instruments, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I know if I could go back, I'd take more music classes if I could.
Well, I was saying before about like how I only had those 2 classes with no music thing. And then I come
related
here
to that, dude. I related to that big time because I took more art classes than music classes.
Because of that?
And now I'm using more music. I'm doing things with music and I'm not doing anything with my art.
Yeah. But I was saying I came here and I ended up being like a recording guy for like UTSA and stuff and like recording a lot of their recitals and stuff. But that led me to record some of the high school stuff. And I was like, oh, this state takes its music very seriously based on where I came from. Because they have all those like choir competitions and this shit and that shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, and like people like that, almost that segment of the society there takes that seriously, almost the way they take football for high school seriously. I was like, this is intense. I was like, but all right, what would you do?
I'm gonna need you to clip this for me.
Yeah.
Clip this for me. What was the question again?
So if you were rich, like what would you be doing?
So if I was wealthy, because there's a difference between rich and wealthy.
Okay.
You can go broke from being rich. You can't go broke from being wealthy. If I was wealthy, right?
Okay. Yeah, it's like fucking philosophy. I'm like,
if I was wealthy, bro, you wouldn't see homelessness. You wouldn't see poverty. If you have enough to take care of yourself and yours, and you have an excess, fuck you doing with that excess? You have a bunch of rich folks with a bunch of excess doing nothing with it. Change the education system. Make sure that arts and music
some of them are
accessible.
doing stuff, by the way. They're just maybe not doing what
recently.
we want.
Recently I've heard a couple, and I'm
I didn't even mean the good stuff, but I just meant even like in bad, like because I guess recent stuff like the Koch brothers and stuff, and using their money to maybe do what they feel is right, even though we might not feel that way. So.
I've been thinking of this for many years, all the way up until to today when I wake up every morning. Like, if I start a GoFundMe or something, I want you guys to fill that with as much money as you possibly can. Make me a billionaire or a trillionaire so that you can actually see change. Give me every single dollar that you can possibly fork over here, and we will actually see change. A person like myself, who is essentially, man, my goal is to be selfless in this world. That's why the music that I make isn't really about an ego or isn't about, money and cars and all this other crap, because it promotes the wrong thing. Give me every single dollar you could possibly have. Just bless me with it, and we will see change. Fundamentally, we'll see change in the way money is respected. We'll see change in the way education is taught. We'll see change in the way in the like he said, music is inaccessible in the inner cities. Who are we or who are they to deny potentiality of anyone just because you have it over here and you refuse to give it up?
All right. That was funny. That was just like, my man's like, it just sounded like you was about to run for a campaign or something. It's like Obama Part 2 over
no
there.
joke. I've had people recently ask me, like, man, let's take the proper steps. Let's get you a part of city council. Let's run you all the way up to mayor.
Diego Bernal gotta get worse.
No joke. Like, because to me, that's almost like an outcry that whoever's in position right now is not doing it to their full potential. Why would I have someone that come up to me and be like, man, I want you as my mayor? Obviously, I'm doing something different. And maybe if that person saw it, the more that someone finds out about my story or finds out about what I have in mind, And it just doesn't include me and my family. It includes your family. It includes your kids. You know, I'm an educator. I want to see growth in everyone. That's an educator's point. You know, they're not gonna say, hey, those 3 kids in the back aren't gonna get this, so I'm gonna cut them off. Like, nah, it's to make sure that everyone understands. It's to make sure that everybody eats.
Maybe that's the move, man.
Yeah.
Time to
get involved.
Yeah, man.
Time to get involved, because it's like infiltration, man. If we can get in it, someone with our spirit in there, we'll see change. We'll see real change.
All right. This. I used to ask everybody this question back in the day. What's your goal in life?
I want to say, take this music to another level, dude. Like,
what does that mean?
well, for me, it's pushing it out there more. I took a couple of years off, so like I feel like I got set back. I'm kind of like easing my way back in it, and Rich is trying to reel me back in there too. Yeah, because Rich knows what I'm capable of. I know Rich believes in me, dude. And for someone who has like real, like a actual music background, to say, from me who doesn't really know anything about music, because even he can tell you I play by ear. Most of the things I've made, I played by ear.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound half bad. Even I freak myself out on the stuff that because I don't really know anything about music.
It carry a feel. Some musicians know it. Some don't.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It's feel, man.
It's a feel.
Trust his ear, and he's got a fucking ear, bro. He's got an ear like nobody else. Goal in life?
Yeah.
What's the goal here?
Yeah.
I need to be the change that I need to see in this world. Because nobody's going to do it, man. No one's going to do it like me, or no one's going to do it the way I want it done. And given our past and history with everything that we know, no one has done it. No one's planning on doing it. If I literally have to be the one to do it, I'm down. Just don't kill me for it. But the goal in life here is to become a catalyst for change. Even if I got to spark it in someone else, because maybe financially or monetarily, I may never be given the opportunity. I drop dead tomorrow. Fuck it. I'm never given the chance. But as long as my life story sparked that change in that person who will get the chance, I'm down.
Dang, man, you got the campaign talk, man. You got what are 3 things you thankful for in life?
My grandparents, they took me in when I didn't have it, really. I didn't want to stay with any of my mom or dad, so I got to give a lot of thanks to them. Because without them, I wouldn't have a roof over my head. You know, I wouldn't have learned a lot of the things I learned, like, as a man, I guess, I learned from my grandfather, you know what I mean? Taught us how to work and everything, even at an early age, you know what I mean? Dipped our toes out there, because he was a masonry, so he was always out there building stuff, and we all learned how to use tools, me and my cousins, because of him. Not to say that I wouldn't have learned anything with my father, but
yeah.
It's just, I spent a lot of my time with my grandparents, even though I was hardly there, which they probably hate me for that. I would leave without saying anything or not show up for weeks. They wouldn't even know if I was dead or alive, bro. My little sister, and I would want to say my other grandparents, because they taught me a lot too. I hate that I don't see them that much, you know what I mean? So
why you don't see them?
They don't live in town, so
Got you.
I mean, it's hard just to go and come and
Yeah. All 3 answers were family.
I had to be family.
Damn, might be the first time.
Right.
Or all of them were family. There's been, I think one comes to mind, I think Statics, where I feel like maybe 2 of them were about it. But yeah, you got like all 3. About you?
That's crazy. 1 was family.
Yeah.
Which was just gonna envelop, all of them. Because, I mean, shit, bro. You really can't go without not mentioning who raised you or who helped you become who you are, man. And I can't say that I hold one of my parents or one of my family members higher than the other. Just not even on a listing. Just because, like, man, I learned everything from pretty much all of y'all. You know what I mean? Either DNA wise or just like, you know, life lessons, you know, from my mom teaching me how to, you gonna hold that door open for that lady, or like my pops being like, hey, you're gonna be a man of your word. You know what I mean? Like, you only have your last name in this life. You better not fuck that up. Like, that's all you got. So it's like, family's big. Like, really grateful for them. I'd have to say the blessing or the appreciation or the awareness. I almost wake up every day and say thank you for making me aware of what I'm aware of. Because there's some things that I have no idea of, like how to become wealthy or how to become, you know, seen everywhere in everyone's eyes, and, you know, the steps to take. Like, there's some information that hasn't been uploaded yet, you know. I'm thankful for what I have been made aware of, you know, like a lot of the topics we touched on and
Thankful
stuff like
for
that.
Knowledge.
Yeah. And I'd have to include, like, you know, music into that, because it's part of knowledge all the same. As far as, I guess, the last thing on this 3-step list, I guess I got to be grateful for the opportunity, man. Like really in retrospect, like, where the fuck are we? We're not in the place that we say that, you know, someone titled it. Like, we're in the middle of what? Like a rock? We're in the middle of a universe? We're in the middle of a ball of gas? Like, where exactly are we? Why does this matter? You know, why does this count? I gotta be grateful for the fact that I'm in the mix, man. Like, now I'm given the opportunity to make this change. You know, even with an interview like this, to have the message get spread, you know, I'm grateful for just the opportunity itself.
Where you see yourselves 3 years in the future?
In this very room right here. Making music.
Has it been nothing different? Nothing else different?
I wouldn't change
Success
anything.
level is not even different. It's just like
It's making music.
I mean, I want to see us get out there. I want to see Rich on the radio. I want to see, you know, everything great that can happen from everything that we're creating and what we're doing. But for it to be, shit, we can have him touring by then. Dang.
Yeah.
If I cannot work a day in my life again.
When you say that, though, you mean like the real jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just had to preface that. Like,
The 9 to 5s.
yeah,
And
that's
what,
what
like
you
that
meant.
set me back too.
Yeah.
I
Well,
used to like live, eat, breathe, sleep, the studio.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd wake up, turn the computer on, do whatever I want. Now, wake up, go to work, come back home, I'm tired. Sometimes I don't even have motivation to turn on that computer. Some days I do.
that's where the mindset has to come in, though, because
It's like I gotta trick myself to be like, no, you gotta do this.
I had
You
a
know what I mean? Like,
I had a horrible my last real job was a horrible job like 2 years ago, and it's just fucking horrible. But now I kind of been like I don't know, I haven't had a real job in like 2+ years, right? But I noticed like I have certain like peaks and valleys and stuff, and pretty much I understand now. Like, even if I had to get a real job right now, like, pretty sure with my mindset, like, yo, like, I probably won't slow down, or maybe I will because I do some health shit. But like, I'm probably still gonna defeat most of the people I know in terms of like how much shit I put out there, like, because I know what I want now, you know, like, and I'm like focused, man, like to quote Jay-Z, you know, but cause so that shit is in the way. But at the same time, you in the fucking way, you know, like, it's all us, you know what I mean? like it's like, fine, you're doing that shit, but what the fuck you doing with the other, you know, first off, jobs are more than 8 hours, but on paper, right? They're 8 hours, right? You know, like, yeah, right? Like, because a lot of people like to say that even if you do have an 8 hour, they don't, because the lunch makes you stay fucking 9 and then going to and from and then preparation to and coming. Yeah, so it's bullshit.
Sleeping early so you can wake up.
Yeah,
the next day.
yeah.
That's dedicated time.
But there's still some level of free time in there where you can still do shit, you know what I mean? So, I mean, like, and there's a bunch of people who have done both, you know? So, I mean, it can be done. I mean, like, to keep it music, Daddy Yankee used to do, like, 1 or 2 jobs, too, you know? And then at night he was fucking doing, and he barely slept, you know? Not that we should even be striving for barely sleep, because I think that's fucking bullshit too, because that's why we're all gonna fucking die, you know, like either young or when we get old and still live, we're gonna be fucking dumb because we don't sleep. Like what I mean by that dumb part is like we're just gonna start losing our mind on that shit, because you can't make up for sleep. Yeah, you can sleep 14, 15 hours like on a weekend or something and catch up, but you can't catch up. You can't ever like you can go like look that shit up. I can't explain this shit. I ain't no fucking scientist, but like the science says right now you can't make up sleep. Sure, you're getting 15 hours whatnot because you ain't fucking slept, but it's not like it's not a bank or some shit. Like you can't take out a loan. Like yo, I'm gonna stay up for 40 hours. I got you on this sleep on Saturday though. Like it doesn't work like that, you know. But I mean, like
make it up to you.
Yeah, like it doesn't like you can never like replace that healing. So it's just like it's cool we all pushing ourselves now, but yeah, like wait till you 70 and you know you got dementia and shit, you know, like or whatever other mind shit happens to you, you know what I mean? So yeah, it almost sputtable, but anyway, I was trying to say like our mindset can make us do that shit, but yeah, so you know the choice. I don't want to say Captain Planet again, but yeah, you know it's all our choice. The choice, yeah. So yeah, but you.
Oh, the 3 years. Where I see myself in 3 years.
Yeah. That was it, right? Let me see. Hold
yeah,
on.
3 years.
Yeah.
Probably on the other side of this little hump.
Mm.
In a matter of 3 years' time, it's gonna be a completely different day. We may not be in this room.
Yeah, true.
But we'll be in this room.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We'll be in that space because there's no other way, bro. There's really I don't see it happening any other way. Like we're here to do what we came to do, and this is a part of what we do.
Mm. Bigger versions of what you're doing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I got you. The studio might be the studio.
Yeah, I mean, instead of it being a room in a house, it could be a room in a business building, which we've had that before. So there ain't no change. Like that's one thing that I learned young is as a creative, you don't have to chase the right space.
Yeah.
As long as you're
the right space is us.
Here. Yeah. It don't matter about the color of the walls or the dimensions, man.
Yeah, I mean, we were a mobile studio back then, remember? And everybody was like, how'd you get it to sound like that?
It comes from within, bro. Some, like you said, I same thing. Our pictures in that space, in that room, with a lot more, a lot more on our resume, with a lot more under our belts, like awards and shows and tours and stuff like that. It's gonna be a part of it.
Mm.
But that's why I see it.
Got you. What is the perfect day?
Perfect day?
Yeah.
That's heavy, bro.
That one's the heavy one. That's like of all the ones I'm at, that's the heavy one. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
That was the heaviest for me. Shit. Don't piss nobody off.
Yeah, being around, I would say I would want to be around good people. One day, you know what I mean? Everybody, Rich, a lot of the other team members.
Hey.
Even if we just kick it, have a barbecue, dude. Like everybody enjoying the vibe, everybody just mingling.
Yeah.
Just everybody's having a good time, dude.
Homies, food, good time.
To see everybody just, enjoy themselves, dude, without having to worry about anything else or who's taking care of my kids, who's paying my bills.
Yeah.
Just like a day just where you just don't have to worry about shit.
Don't worry, be happy.
Mm.
I don't know if they come on the mic if they're that silent, because I know you've been doing it.
I'm not trying to make it pop, but I was just like, if you're looking at it, it exists.
Alright, you?
Perfect day. I just became you right now.
Well, they're not bad questions. They make me think.
That's what I'm saying. This one got me.
There is no right or wrong answer to.
Yeah, there is.
There's a wrong answer to this one.
Why? What's the wrong answer? I mean, the wrong answer would be I want to do the Holocaust or some dumb shit. Of course, that's a horrible answer. But I mean, but outside of killing people and stuff, what is the wrong answer? Like, oh, he said barbecue. Like, fuck this guy. Like,
It's not about how many people you
I
kill.
want some baked food, you know?
It's not about how many people you kill. It's who you kill.
There you go. I guess maybe.
The Harlem Nights.
We can cut that out when you're running for campaign. When they
that was a Harlem Nights quote from Eddie Murphy, man, when he was taking down Bugsy Calhoun, who was just basically just like the main guy. He's like, man, he's got a bunch of guys, man. You can't take them all out. He's like, it's not about how many people you kill. It's who you kill. Because basically, if you killed him, the other guys, they got no power. Oh, shit. Well, you killed our boss. Like,
gotcha.
What are we going to do?
Cut off the head of the snake.
Yeah. So, I say the perfect day would be probably at the river, bro, with, like you said, the fam. We're barbecuing. We're jamming. I got either the people I love or the people who love me there. And to be honest with you, the thing that hasn't, I guess, the reason why because that perfect day scenario has happened plenty of times in my life already.
Of course, yeah.
The reason why I can't say it was the perfect is because the outside world wasn't where it needed to be. So I think the perfect day is when all of this bullshit and stuff
fucking running for election again. Here we go.
And we get all this ironed out. And that outside world is where it needs to be. And we have this barbecue, bro, and I don't gotta worry. That'd be the perfect day.
Man, if I see this like 5 years like campaign slogan like, oh, San Antonio whole city barbecue.
Which why is the whole city barbecue? Why are gonna bring it to the people? Yeah, man. For real. That'd be the perfect day.
I'm afraid to ask this question.
Ooh.
This used to be the last one. I'm only afraid because I know he thinks a lot. Dude, this question is it's I'm debating taking it off. Like not today, but I just mean in general. But this one's called I Like, I Wish, I Wonder. I like that I did. I wish. So it's like a 3-parter. I like that I did. I wish I had done. I wonder what would have happened if. But just for the last year, not your whole damn life. Just for the last year, last 12 months. Yeah. So I like that I did.
She broke it. Yeah. My dog just broke in the house.
In the house? I was like, wait, what?
Watch this.
There's always a dog on this podcast. But your dogs are big, so they scare me because of the gear.
I saw that one with the dog where it just kept
outside
on you.
Oh, yeah.
Go outside.
Like, I wonder why that's why he locked him outside.
It's a jingle. She'll be coming out through the whole podcast.
There was one dog where she had, and this was a little dog too. I thought it was going to be in the show, but they had to lock it only because she just wouldn't. I think it was a he actually. He wouldn't just stop barking, like, and it was like, so like this ain't cool. Dad just kept wanting to hit me in the nuts, man. A lot of them love hitting me in the nuts. Like fuck, man. That one you were talking about, like that's the whole clip. Is I literally say, why the nuts? I literally said that.
Yeah, it's a hashtag
like something about my nuts, dude. Like, let me tell you, a lot of women don't want it, but a lot of quote unquote bitches want it. Only dogs want my nuts. Fuck, dude. Like, and my dogs never. Well, one of them does, but like, yeah, something about my nuts, man. I don't know. So like, I should whatever scent is going on there. I should find out how to bottle that shit and sell it to Petco, and I'll probably be rich.
Oh,
you know, like, literally.
It smell like bacon bits. So
yeah, it's like it can be like a scent to like if your dog's lost, just walk around with this. And it's like Abe's nuts, and it's just like it could be like a before and after like mean pic, like. I was once lost, but now I'm found, and a dog is biting my nuts. You know,
is your dog lost?
Yeah.
Try Abe's nuts.
Yeah.
Your dogs they'll come straight for it.
But yeah, I like. I wish I would.
Oh man!
All right. So yeah, I like that I did. The last year.
Well, that was your I like. I wish I would.
Yeah, right. Like,
that was almost spot on.
I wonder what would have happened if they didn't touch my nuts. You know, just all of them. Like,
it all has to relate to the same thing.
No, you do whatever you want. All these questions are always your questions, but just for the last year though, because.
Well, I like that I was able to move here. Gave me access to the studio, gave me, you know what I mean? one of the things I was hurt for was like, damn, how the hell am I gonna get to that place? Like that was one
It's
of the
far
issues.
away or something. Yeah.
So it's like
I wish I had done.
I wish I had done. I wish I would have done everything for my album a little bit sooner. It would have came out, already. What was the last one?
I wonder what would have happened if I released the
I
album sooner.
wonder what happened if I would have released the album sooner.
Yeah, I like that. I decided to say fuck it and just like pursue this like completely. I like that. I was like, you know what? All right. I like that I just said, fuck it. I'm gonna jump off this metaphorical cliff and just be like, not to go.
Yeah.
Nuts deep. But yeah, like I like that I jumped off that cliff and took a risk, took a challenge.
I wish I had done.
I guess on a timeline basis, I wish that I had done all of this or potentially what could come in the future at a younger age. So I wish that I had this type of power and this type of influence at a younger age, so I would say I had more time.
Got you.
To affect more people.
And the tools.
Yeah.
And I wonder what would have happened if.
I wonder what would have happened if I was granted that opportunity sooner. And I wonder if this world would be or would accept what I have to give and what I have to offer as far as either mindset-wise or I wonder if there would have been that real change that I seek.
Got you. That's normally used to be the last one. This is the last one. This is the new experimental one too I added today. What's the question I should ask you or that most people should ask you? My man's like the perfect days deep. That to me is like
no, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you smoke?
Hey.
All right, do you smoke?
Right. That's one thing I would want somebody to ask me, dude. Like,
Got you. What about you?
What's the question?
What is the question that I should have asked you or that people should ask you?
What is the question people should ask me?
Yeah. Or that you wish people would ask you,
You think if we gave you the keys, you could steer it right?
Fuck. Campaign, motherfucker. Yeah.
For real, bro. To the
I
death.
feel bad. Like, how has no one used that as a slogan? Like give me the keys and I'll steer you right.
I'll steer you right, bro.
Fuck.
If we gave you the keys,
What are
would
you
be able
doing, Beto?
make
What are
this
you
change?
doing? What are you doing?
You damn right. I'll make that happen.
Damn. All right. Shit. Where can the people find you online? Both of y'all.
TheRealRichWire.com.
I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Right
Social medias. Facebook, Instagram. At TheRealRichYR.
.com.
At
Demuhn Dru.
Yeah.
It's the one time you shouldn't be silent. Just saying that, like the promo part.
Yeah, man. TheRealRichWire.com. You can find all the content. You can find out, the reason of the project. At Demuhn Dru, you can find his new album that's gonna be dropping. What's the name of it?
Akumu.
Akumu.
What's that mean?
It means nightmare in Japanese.
Oh shit. Is that like a theme for it or something? Or like
Yeah, I would say so. And even the graphics look like they're gonna come out.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Man, I can't wait.
All right, man. Last words.
Live your life. Make something of yourself. You only get one.
You got any?
Last words. If you took anything from this dialogue that we had and you watched every minute and every second of what we just did, apply it. Let's make some change.
Damn, son. It's that real shit, man.
Wow, man.
All right, man. That was it. Thank you for
Boosh,
coming
man.
on.
Bro.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for having us.
Bake that chicken, smoke that turkey. Boosh. We out.
original or stay high. The meaning of the boost, I maxed my whole life. On this beat tonight, I put it all to rest. My name in the rap game, can I be the best? Put the pen to pad, mic to chest. Got lost doing this for success. But creation is the journey, Bill Goldberg. But what's next in my case? Borderline, about to jump back in this rat race. Cause man want his own place. Leave SA without a trace. Let a new city discover my face. Disappear like I'm Mace. But no comeback when I run out of money. Boosh ain't no dummy. Still active, brain no mummy. Ain't it funny? Started out making beats. Now rapping is my new feat. Be original, stay high. 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 Always been attracted to the other side. Makes sense when I'm on the life ride. I do my own thing, let my heart sing. Ignore the phone rings that tell me to go where everyone is. Life you can't control the kid. Spend a life flirting with the local music biz. Biggest waste of time, what a piece of shit. But still went after it, or rather I got caught up in it. Instead of doing what I like, cause it's what I wanna do. Caught up with crew, chasing others' dreams. Can't tell the difference between me and you. Had to disappear and gather up the crews. Put myself back together to the old Boosh I once knew. But something better, I wanna be here forever. A legacy, a love letter. Let you know it wasn't just for the cheddar. Stay high. Be original, 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 stay high. I grew up in the Bronx, who would've thought I'd end up in Texas? Lost in the nexus of bigger is better. Business degree, go chase the cheddar. But make sure you do it at a 9 to 5 level. Don't forget your shovel when you're working for master. Please make my pockets fatter and fatter. I'm rich, bitch. Can't believe we do this for a living, crazy like Mad Hatter. Thoughts like my brains, I said splatter. Enter my mind, bored with the daily routine. Who am I fooling? Myself trapped in the circle of life. Elton once said, now it's filled with strife. But my heart's still filled with fight. And on this night, I swear to right these wrongs. Therapy through song, follow me along. Stay high. Be original, stay high. Be original, stay high. Be original, stay high. Be original.